Chapter 2141, Be My Mount, and I'll spare your life. After 3 years, Lin Moyu finally encountered his first transcendent-level starry sky beast. The boundary area was too vast. In 3 years, Lin Moyu controlled the bone hell and devoured millions of starry sky beasts, but he hadn't encountered a single transcendent level 1. This was normal. According to the star map, the area he had traversed was less than 1/10,000th of the boundary area. Now, he finally encountered a transcendent-level starry sky beast. With a roar, Lin Moyu saw it. A giant rhinoceros beast. Lin Moyu immediately recognized this starry sky beast, as it was recorded in human data. The giant rhinoceros beast resembled a rhinoceros, with a huge horn on its head. Its defining feature was its extremely strong defense. In the same realm, killing it was very difficult. Over 10,000 years ago, a giant rhinoceros beast appeared on the Xuanwu battlefield, seemingly searching for something. It was later discovered by humans, leading to a conflict in which it killed some human cultivators. By the time human transcendence arrived, it had already escaped. It was said that it later encountered the 3 silver races and was killed by their Saint Venerable. Lin Moyu didn't know if the giant rhinoceros beast before him was the same one recorded in the Human Emperor network. If it was, it meant it had escaped the pursuit of the 3 silver races, Saint Venerable. The giant rhinoceros beast stepped through the void, and when it was still 1,000,000 kilometers away from Lin Moyu, it suddenly stomped heavily in the starry sky. The starry sky rolled like waves, surging towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's entire body erupted with purple-gold light. The purple-gold body shone brightly, coupled with damage transfer, and he withstood the attack head-on. Its attack power is low among transcendents, but its defense must be high. Strong defense and weak attack, its survival ability is indeed strong. Seeing that Lin Moyu was unharmed, the giant rhinoceros beast roared angrily, "You seek death." It raised its body high, and the sharp horn on its head erupted with blinding lightning. Lin Moyu suddenly noticed a huge wound on its abdomen, running from head to tail, almost splitting it in half. Seeing the wound, Lin Moyu immediately knew this was the same giant rhinoceros beast from back then. It had indeed been pursued by the 3 silver races, Saint Venerable and injured but ultimately escaped. This showed how strong its survival ability was. While Lin Moyu was pondering, the lightning descended, transforming into a boundless sea of lightning that engulfed him. Lin Moyu took a step, instantly crossing 10 million kilometers, leaving the sea of lightning. Space laws. The giant rhinoceros beast roared in shock. Lin Moyu smiled, "So you can speak." Being able to speak meant it had developed intelligence. Transcendent-level starry sky beasts had a much higher probability of developing intelligence. The giant rhinoceros beast coldly stared at Lin Moyu. "Human, this is not a place you should be. Leave now, and I will pretend I never saw you." The giant rhinoceros beast didn't want to provoke humans, especially a human who mastered space laws like Lin Moyu. First, it was hard to kill him. Second, humans would certainly treasure him. Killing him would bring trouble. If Lin Moyu could leave, that would be the best outcome. As for the starry sky beasts that had been killed, it didn't care. Lin Moyu had other ideas. "How about this? I happen to need a mount. If you become my mount, I'll spare your life." "Moo!" The giant rhinoceros beast roared angrily. To it, Lin Moyu's words were an insult. He wanted it to be a mount. It was a dignified transcendent-level starry sky beast, a king in this star region. How could it be someone's mount? If a Saint Venerable said this, it might consider it. But Lin Moyu was just a divine venerable, and only at rank 5. "Who do you think you are?" The giant rhinoceros beast roared, its horn flashing with lightning. The surrounding space was instantly flooded with a sea of lightning, shattering the rules of space, terrifying beyond measure. Lin Moyu remained calm. With a thought, the bone hell appeared, enveloping the giant rhinoceros beast. Countless hell spirits pounced, and hellfire surged from all directions, burning the giant rhinoceros beast. The giant rhinoceros beast emitted a faint glow, and the powerful rule's power transformed into armor, blocking the hell spirits. The hell spirits bit down, directly piercing the armor. They ignored the rule's power, biting down hard. "What are these things?" the giant rhinoceros beast screamed. These creatures, clearly only at divine venerable rank 8, could bite through its rule's armor. How did they grow? It erupted with lightning, blasting away many hell spirits, but more hell spirits immediately pounced. The giant rhinoceros beast discovered that the hellfire could burn its rule's armor. Under the dual attacks of hellfire and hell spirits, the rule's armor weakened at an alarming rate, on the verge of collapse. Get lost! The giant rhinoceros beast roared, lightning erupting wildly, blasting away all the hell spirits and hellfire. The lightning formed a defense, blocking the hell spirits. But the hell spirits were fearless, pouncing again and gnawing at the lightning. The hell spirits could eat anything. Laws, rules, lightning, nothing was refused. The giant rhinoceros beast was terrified. What the hell are these things? The lightning kept blasting the hell spirits away, but it couldn't kill them. One group was blasted away, and another group came. It couldn't finish them off. Lin Moyu watched the show from the side, a smile on his lips. The giant rhinoceros beast was furious. With an angry roar, its body suddenly grew larger. Originally only about 100 meters tall, it suddenly grew to 10,000 meters. Its tail became a terrifying weapon, sweeping away countless hell spirits, shattering their bodies. After growing larger, the giant rhinoceros beast's strength also increased. But before it could be happy for a second, the hell spirits, though shattered, quickly reformed and pounced again, intact. The giant rhinoceros beast was scared. It didn't understand why such things existed. Clearly only at Divine Venerable rank 8, but they couldn't be killed. Lin Moyu discovered that after combining void and reality, the hell spirit's resilience had greatly increased. The bone hell no longer collapsed easily as before. Now, under the giant rhinoceros beast's attacks, the bone hell twisted continuously but never collapsed. This further solidified Lin Moyu's idea of constructing a rules world combining void and reality. The giant rhinoceros beast rampaged within the bone hell. In terms of pure strength, it could easily crush the hell spirits, but it couldn't kill them. The giant rhinoceros beast was completely enraged. It suddenly charged at Lin Moyu. Its eyes glowed, and its horn flashed, making the surrounding space viscous. It used rules power to seal the space. Since it couldn't deal with the bone hell, it would kill the instigator. Lin Moyu laughed. Now you think of it. Your reaction is really slow. Facing the charging giant rhinoceros beast, Lin Moyu lightly pointed his finger, and a red light flashed with a hum. White star level spell. Time curse. A miserable scream came from the giant rhinoceros beast. Its soul was impacted. Although not injured, it was in extreme pain. While it screamed, its vision blurred, and it found itself in a strange starry sky. The containment formation flashed, capturing the giant rhinoceros beast. The giant rhinoceros beast attacked frantically, trying to break the containment formation. The containment formation trembled and twisted. Lin Moyu calmly drew 2 or 3 runes to stabilize the containment formation. At the same time, he multitasked, throwing out a mass of undying flame. White star level spell. Summon Skeleton King. The Skeleton King's throne appeared, and 5 Skeleton Kings, each 1,000 meters tall, appeared in the starry sky. Chapter 2142, 2142. Chapter 2142, Choose to live, or die immediately. The Skeleton King's throne transformed into 5 giant bone swords, with powerful rules power rolling on the blades. No matter how many times one saw the white bone rules power, it always gave a chilling feeling. The 5 Skeleton Kings charged into the containment formation, swinging their bone swords in front of the stunned giant rhinoceros beast. Spell. God Slayer. The God Slayer strike of a Transcendent was vastly different in power from that of a Divine Venerable. The space around the giant rhinoceros beast collapsed completely, thoroughly shattered, revealing the deep space beneath. Countless spatial turbulences erupted. The containment formation instantly collapsed. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment, as the result was completely unexpected. He didn't think the Skeleton King's God Slayer strike would destroy the containment formation as well. A complex rune flew out and exploded in space, instantly sealing off the area. Without the containment formation, the giant rhinoceros beast might escape, so Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't let it go. As Lin Moyu sealed off space, a bright sword light flashed on the giant rhinoceros beast's body, accompanied by miserable screams. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed sharply. This is the white bone rules. Countless white bones appeared within the sword light, like swords, simultaneously slashing at the giant rhinoceros beast. 5 God Slayer strikes, 5 sword lights. 5 huge wounds appeared on the giant rhinoceros beast's body, almost tearing it apart completely. The white bone swords evolved from the white bone rules densely slashed all over its body. Crack! Lin Moyu heard the sound of bones breaking. The giant rhinoceros beast's bones shattered one after another, blasting off chunks of flesh. In an instant, its body was covered in blood, turning into a bloody bull. The white bone rules. Attack lasted for several seconds. In those seconds, the giant rhinoceros beast endured countless attacks, its screams never stopping. Its proud defense was completely useless before the white bone rules. Lin Moyu discovered that although the white bone rules, attacks seemed to hit the physical body, they actually struck the soul. The physical injuries were just a manifestation of the soul damage, so no matter how strong the giant rhinoceros beast's defense was, it had little effect. So this is the white bone rules, quite impressive indeed. But I feel there should be more to it, right? For now, he had only discovered one aspect of the white bone rules, but there must be more. Besides the Skeleton King, the entire Undead Legion possessed the white bone rules. Once they reached the Transcendent Realm, every attack would carry the soul strike of the white bone rules, greatly increasing their combat power. The giant rhinoceros beast lay almost paralyzed in space, its body covered in blood, fear in its eyes. It watched Lin Moyu approach, trying to say something, but in the end only let out two miserable cries. The soul damage was too painful, so painful it couldn't even speak. Lin Moyu came before the giant rhinoceros beast and said coldly, "I'll give you one last chance. Become my mount, and I'll spare your life." The giant rhinoceros beast was full of unwillingness, its eyes filled with resentment, but also hiding a desire to live. It was very conflicted now, wanting to live but unwilling to become Lin Moyu's mount. Lin Moyu said, "In this world, might makes right. You should understand that. Alright, I'll give you 3 seconds. If you don't agree, then forget it." The Skeleton King appeared behind Lin Moyu at this moment, its 5 bone swords flashing with sharp light, looking extremely terrifying. The time was only 3 seconds. Lin Moyu wouldn't waste more time on it. It was just a sudden whim anyway. If it didn't agree, it didn't matter. In the end, it would become food for the bone hell, so it wouldn't be wasted. The 3 seconds quickly passed. At the last moment, the giant rhinoceros beast finally made its choice. It chose to live. "I agree." The giant rhinoceros beast very reluctantly uttered these 3 words. Lin Moyu smiled, "Good. Then make a great world oath. Don't try any tricks, you know what will happen." The giant rhinoceros beast indeed didn't dare to try any tricks. It was at Lin Moyu's mercy, and any tricks now would be truly seeking death. Thinking of its future life as a bull, the giant rhinoceros beast felt its fate was truly miserable. Lin Moyu sensed the karmic connection with the giant rhinoceros beast, but this was just the first step. A rune flew out from the treasure ship's warehouse. This rune was extremely exquisite yet also very complex. Its complexity even surpassed that of the containment formation. "Don't resist." Lin Moyu's voice was calm but carried a cold edge. The giant rhinoceros beast knew what would happen if it disobeyed. It had already become a mount and made a great world oath, so this additional step didn't matter much. The rune flew into the giant rhinoceros beast's body, entering its soul world. The giant rhinoceros beast didn't dare resist, allowing the rune to enter. The rune accurately found the giant rhinoceros beast's soul and landed on it. This time there was no pain. The giant rhinoceros beast saw a mark appear on its soul. This mark had fused with the soul, inseparable. Lin Moyu said, "From today on, I am your master. This rune is called the Soul Control Rune. With just a thought, I can destroy your soul. Of course, I don't necessarily have to kill you. I can also erase your intelligence, turning you into my most loyal slave." The giant rhinoceros beast trembled all over, knowing Lin Moyu was telling the truth. The rune in its soul was terrifying, completely fused with the soul, impossible to remove. Unless it committed suicide, it's over, this old bull's life is over. The giant rhinoceros beast wanted to cry but had no tears. If it had known this would happen, it would have been better to just sleep soundly. Why did it come here? At this moment, Lin Moyu waved a pure white rule. As the rule fell on its body, the giant rhinoceros beast immediately felt its soul pain disappear. The soul injuries were rapidly healing, and even the physical wounds were quickly recovering. In just a few minutes, its soul was almost completely healed, and the wounds on its body had fully recovered. Even the huge scar from many years ago, inflicted by the 3 silver races, Saint Venerable, miraculously disappeared. How is this possible? The giant rhinoceros beast was extremely curious, constantly asking itself in its heart. It couldn't recognize what rule this was, but it felt amazing. Lin Moyu said, "Now that you're healed, stand up. Don't lie there anymore." The giant rhinoceros beast was still sprawled in space. Hearing Lin Moyu's words, it immediately stood up straight. Its body began to shrink, turning into a small bull only 5 meters tall in an instant. Lin Moyu asked, "Do you know if there are any other transcendent-level starry sky beasts nearby?" The giant rhinoceros beast said, "About 100 light-years away, there's another one. But that guy has no intelligence, just a fool who only knows how to eat and sleep." Lin Moyu asked, "How's its combat power?" The giant rhinoceros beast said, "It's okay, but its survival ability isn't as good as mine." The implication was that its combat power was actually higher than the giant rhinoceros beast's, otherwise it wouldn't have spoken like this. Lin Moyu said, "Here's your first task. Bring that guy to me." The giant rhinoceros beast had no right to refuse. After hearing the task, it turned and left. After it left, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, "When the time comes, you'll command the resurrected army." Keeping the giant rhinoceros beast naturally had its use. Lin Moyu wanted to use it to command the resurrected army. This way, he wouldn't have to appear personally, allowing for more flexible operations. It wasn't that he must use it, but when he wanted to use it, it had to be available. Lin Moyu liked to prepare for the future, always making preparations in advance. Chapter 2143, 2143. Chapter 2143, Perhaps it really can become hell. The bone hell absorbed a large amount of undying laws, and the cup rapidly expanded to its limit. After the cup expanded, it needed more water to fill it. The starry sky beasts were that water. Large numbers of starry sky beasts were devoured, and the bone hell gradually strengthened. For some reason, Lin Moyu felt a slight sense of ease, coming from the great world. Karma, he muttered to himself, sensing subtle changes from the great world. In Lin Moyu's perception, as he killed more and more starry sky beasts, the great world seemed to become lighter. This indicated that the starry sky beasts also had some karmic connection to the great world, and were one of its burdens. Why is this? Why is there karma between them? Aren't starry sky beasts supposed to be creatures of the great world? Lin Moyu suddenly realized his thinking was incorrect. Starry sky beasts were not necessarily creatures of the great world. In the past, powerful beings in the great world had plundered the origins of many worlds, merging those worlds with the great world. The races from those worlds also entered the great world, becoming alien races. Along with them came starry sky beasts from other worlds. Starry sky beasts from various worlds mixed with those of the great world. After countless years, it became impossible to distinguish who was who. No one had ever paid attention to this point. Perhaps even the former heavenly venerables never considered it. After all, although starry sky beasts were strong, they were scattered and did not have a strong presence. Lin Moyu finally understood, so that's how it is. It seems that to completely sever the karma of the great world, even the starry sky beasts cannot be spared. Lin Moyu also knew that killing all the starry sky beasts was almost impossible. They were distributed throughout every corner of the great world, both inside and outside the realm. Not only did he currently have only 500 million skeleton generals, even if he had 10 or 100 times more, it wouldn't be enough. If he wanted to kill them, he could only kill the majority. One step at a time, I'll do my best. Lin Moyu thought to himself, calculating several areas. The Dark Void, the 4 battlefields, and the boundary area where he was currently located. These 3 places had the highest concentration of starry sky beasts. If he could clear out the starry sky beasts in these 3 areas, he would have dealt with at least 80% of them. 80% should be enough. 10 days later, the bone hell finally reached its limit again. This time, with the void and reality powers perfected, the bone hell officially advanced. The bone hell transformed from tangible to intangible, turning into a mist that spread freely through space. Its coverage area grew larger and larger. Originally, the bone hell's range was already as high as 10 billion li, enough to cover a star system. Now its range expanded again, reaching 100 billion li. After expanding, the bone hell reconsolidated into form, with hellfire erupting violently. The hellfire river boiled, continuously shooting out massive pillars of fire. The spider lilies on both banks bloomed in profusion, emitting a bewitching radiance. The blue light of the spider lilies enveloped the bone hell, making it appear incredibly gloomy. Lin Moyu felt the bone hell becoming increasingly real. Originally it was mostly in an illusory state, but now it was leaning towards reality. The illusory and the real continuously fused within the bone hell, making it increasingly powerful. The hell spirits bathed in the flames, constantly growing stronger in the hellfire river, quickly reaching divine venerable rank 9. Then they began to divide, 1 becoming 2, 2 becoming 4. Their numbers increased from 100 million to 1 billion, with all of them at divine venerable rank 9. From this moment on, the number and combat power of the hell spirits surpassed the undead legion, second only to the skeleton king. The only drawback was that the hell spirits could not leave the bone hell, otherwise they could have become a second spirit army. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the changes in the bone hell, as the enhancement exceeded his expectations. 100 billion li could easily cover a star system. If 2 star systems were close enough, it could even cover both. Unfortunately, the distances between star systems were vast, measured in light years. This idea of his could only remain a fantasy. What satisfied Lin Moyu most was that the bone hell was indeed developing in the direction of reality. Perhaps one day in the future, the bone hell could evolve into a real world, becoming a true hell. Master, I'm back. Lin Moyu suddenly heard the voice of the giant rhinoceros beast. Looking over, he saw the giant rhinoceros beast appear billions of li away, with another starry sky beast chasing behind it. Both were moving at extremely fast speeds, crossing billions of li in the blink of an eye. It was a starry sky beast that looked like a giant crocodile, over 100,000 meters long. However, its tail was very long, like a snake's tail, exceeding half its total length. Its eyes flashed with a fierce light, full of killing intent, along with anger towards the giant rhinoceros beast. It looked as if there was some deep grudge between them. Then Lin Moyu saw a huge hole in the jaw of the crocodile-like starry sky beast, with fresh blood flowing from it. The shape of the hole resembled a bull's horn. Without thinking, he knew it was made by the giant rhinoceros beast's horn. Fresh blood was pouring from the hole. The giant rhinoceros beast is quite vicious. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly and pointed his finger. The bone hell appeared, enveloping both of them. Under the bewitching purple light, hellfire erupted violently, engulfing the crocodile beast. Immediately after, countless hell spirits pounced out, surrounding the crocodile beast. Roars of anger echoed through the bone hell as the crocodile beast and the hell spirits fought fiercely. Its long, thick tail swept wildly through the bone hell, but it was helpless against the hell spirits. The giant rhinoceros beast was not attacked. Now it had become a spectator, watching this familiar scene. Just a short while ago, it had been surrounded like this itself. It suddenly realized that the hell spirits had become stronger, far more powerful than before. A hint of fear flashed in its eyes. Its new master, though seemingly only at divine venerable rank 5, had combat power far exceeding the transcendent realm. After being surrounded by the hell spirits, the giant rhinoceros beast knew the crocodile beast's fate was sealed, no matter how it struggled. A passage appeared in the bone hell, and the giant rhinoceros beast flew out along it, its body continuously shrinking. By the time it reached Lin Moyu, it had shrunk to its smallest size. Master. It bowed respectfully before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu nodded and said, "Well done." The giant rhinoceros beast said, "Serving the master is what this little bull should do." It had now resigned itself to its fate. Since it couldn't resist, it might as well obey and be a good, obedient bull. It wasn't one of those mindless fools. It knew very well how to survive and live better. It had even given itself a name, Little Bull. The bone hell had completely surrounded the crocodile beast, while 5 skeleton kings waited outside the bone hell. The following battle no longer required Lin Moyu's attention. Lin Moyu said, "Tell me everything you know about the boundary area, in as much detail as possible." "Yes, master." Little Bull immediately recounted everything it knew. Through Little Bull's account, Lin Moyu finally gained a clear understanding of the situation in the boundary area. This mysterious space, about which even the Human Emperor Network had little record, finally became clear to Lin Moyu. Chapter 2144, 2144. Chapter 2144, Little Bull aspires to become a Saint Venerable. The boundary area, also known as the home of the beasts, according to Little Bull. This name wasn't coined by it but by some intelligent starry sky beasts collectively. According to it, there are a total of 108 transcendent-level starry sky beasts in the boundary area. This number matches the records in the Human Emperor Network. The 108 transcendent-level starry sky beasts refer to those like Little Bull, who possess intelligence. In addition, there are some transcendent-level starry sky beasts without intelligence, which are not included in the count of 108. These unintelligent starry sky beasts are even more numerous, meaning there are hundreds of transcendent-level starry sky beasts in the boundary area alone. This number far exceeds the number of transcendents among the human race. Despite the vast population of the human race, there are only about 100 transcendents. This shows how extraordinarily gifted the starry sky beasts are. They have natural advantages and lifespans far exceeding those of human Saint Venerables. Many transcendent-level starry sky beasts have lived for 100,000 years and still haven't reached the end of their lifespans. Little Bull is relatively young among the transcendents, being only over 20,000 years old. According to it, its lifespan can reach 300,000 years, so it is just barely an adult now. Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel a bit envious. In ancient times, even a heavenly venerable could only live for 500,000 years. Unlike the various intelligent races, starry sky beasts don't have a well-developed system, but they still possess territorial awareness. The 108 intelligent transcendent-level starry sky beasts each occupy large areas of the boundary space. The nearly 200 unintelligent transcendent-level starry sky beasts only care about their own territories and nothing else. Besides the transcendents, there is a true king in the boundary area. A starry sky beast that has reached the Saint Venerable realm rules the entire boundary area. When it issues orders, all transcendent-level starry sky beasts must obey. This includes even the unintelligent transcendent-level starry sky beasts. Though they lack intelligence, they follow their instincts and obey the strong. Sometimes, it's easier to command them because they have no intelligence and no personal thoughts. Lin Moyu murmured, so there really is a Saint Venerable level starry sky beast. It's no wonder the boundary area has existed for so many years. Do you know its strength? Little Bull shook its head. I don't know, I only know that the king is a Saint Venerable. But the king is very powerful, stronger than an ordinary Saint Venerable. Once, a Saint Venerable from the demon race came to subdue the king but was defeated and seriously injured. A Saint Venerable from the Golden Eagle race also came but couldn't defeat the king either. Lin Moyu's eyes showed contemplation. The Saint Venerables from the Demon and Golden Eagle races didn't come to subdue the king but to control all the starry sky beasts here. If they succeeded, they could command the starry sky beasts to attack the human race. The starry sky beasts are numerous and powerful, posing a great threat to the human race. No one knows how many starry sky beasts have accumulated in the boundary area over countless years. If they controlled the king, they could control all the starry sky beasts in the boundary area. Fortunately, they failed, but strangely, the human race must know about this, so why aren't they worried? Little Bull suddenly said, the king is different from us, it cannot be subdued. Over 10,000 years ago, a powerful human came but also failed to subdue the king. Lin Moyu asked, do you know who that human was? Little Bull thought for a while. The battle was intense, and we were all drawn to it but didn't dare get close. I vaguely heard the king call that person, Star Elder. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. It was Star Elder. Unexpectedly, Star Elder had already been here. Although he defeated the king, he couldn't subdue it. No wonder Star Elder isn't worried. If even he couldn't subdue it, other races probably can't either. Since that's the case, there's no need to worry. Lin Moyu now had a thorough understanding of the boundary area and knew what to do next. The boundary area is vast, and the king of the starry sky beasts usually remains dormant. As long as he doesn't provoke it, nothing will happen. Besides the Saint Venerable level king, there is no need to fear other starry sky beasts. A booming sound erupted as the crocodile beast finally broke through the bone hell, shaking off all the hell spirits and escaping in terror. The crocodile beast was covered in blood, with wounds all over its body, looking extremely miserable. Many places had exposed bones. Its soul was severely injured, and its aura was very weak. It was making its last struggle for survival. Little Bull's eyes widened. It knew it wasn't mistaken. The bone hell was indeed much stronger than before, significantly so. Otherwise, the crocodile beast wouldn't be in such a miserable state. Just escaping from the bone hell had exhausted all its strength. Little Bull asked, Master, do you need me to take action? Seizing the opportunity, Little Bull immediately volunteered, not forgetting to flatter. Lin Moyu shook his head, no need. A skeleton king had already taken action, but only one. Sword light flashed, and a god slayer strike was unleashed. The sword light lit up on the crocodile beast. Amidst its screams, the crocodile beast, which had just escaped, was pierced by the brilliant sword light, creating a huge hole. Simultaneously, white bones emerged, forming a sword of rules that slashed at its soul. The soul was injured again, and the crocodile beast screamed continuously. The soul injury transmitted to its body, breaking its bones. Having already lost half its life in the bone hell, the crocodile beast now lost another half after being slashed, leaving it with no life left. The bone hell still enveloped it, and the hell spirits pounced again, starting to devour it. The crocodile beast's screams echoed, and Little Bull watched in horror. It realized that if it hadn't agreed to become Lin Moyu's mount, it would probably face the same fate. The thought of being devoured by hell spirits, bit by bit, sent chills down Little Bull's spine, making its hair stand on end. Lin Moyu sensed Little Bull's change in aura and calmly said, "As long as you obey, I won't kill you." Little Bull immediately said, "Rest assured, Master, Little Bull is very obedient. You won't find a more obedient beast in the entire great world." Lin Moyu smiled slightly. It was clear that Little Bull had a strong desire to live. Especially after seeing the crocodile beast's miserable state, Little Bull felt that being alive was already a blessing. As for being a mount, it wasn't a big deal. Judging by its master's demeanor, it didn't seem like the type to whip its mount for no reason. Little Bull kept comforting itself, "It's okay, it's okay. Although Master is ruthless and merciless, killing beasts without blinking, he doesn't seem to have a habit of abusing beasts. Little Bull, you can do it. Just stay alive, and one day you might become a saint Venerable." Chapter 2145, 2145. Chapter 2145, This time we must avenge our previous defeat. Lin Moyu didn't know Little Bull's inner thoughts. At this moment, the giant crocodile beast's screams were becoming weaker and weaker. Finally, the Skeleton King cut off its head and threw it into the containment formation. The number of giant beast corpses in the containment formation was already uncountable, at least several 100,000. But for Lin Moyu, even this number was far from enough. "Little Bull, go bring another transcendent realm beast here." Lin Moyu issued a new order, and Little Bull immediately went to find the nearest starry sky beast. The next starry sky beast was very far away and would take some time to reach. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. He controlled the bone hell to continue devouring starry sky beasts. The bone hell had reached Divine Venerable rank 9, with its range and power greatly increased, making it more efficient. However, the difficulty of further improvement had also increased significantly. Even after devouring a transcendent realm beast, it only increased a tiny bit. Lin Moyu felt that he would need to devour at least 100 million Divine Venerable realm starry sky beasts to have a chance of advancing the bone hell again. After the next advancement, he wasn't sure if it would reach half-step transcendent or directly reach the transcendent realm. Based on past experience, the possibility of directly reaching the transcendent realm was low. The gap between Divine Venerable and transcendent was huge and not easy to cross. Lin Moyu continued sweeping through the boundary area like this, leaving silence and sleeping beasts wherever he went. 2 months later, Little Bull brought back another transcendent realm beast. Soon, Lin Moyu's containment formation had another piece of transcendent realm flesh. Little Bull received a new task and continued to search for transcendent realm starry sky beasts. Little Bull was very clever. Although Lin Moyu hadn't explicitly stated it, it knew what kind of beasts he wanted. So it always brought back starry sky beasts that hadn't awakened intelligence. Years passed, and while Lin Moyu controlled the bone hell to devour beasts, he also multitasked, continuing to draw large numbers of runes to fill the treasure ship's warehouse. The types of runes were diverse with all kinds of strange effects. Lin Moyu tried to prepare as many as possible for any future needs. In the new military camp of the 100 Race Alliance, orderly shouts could be heard. The cultivators of the 100 Race Alliance were engaged in duels, which were called friendly exchanges. After nearly 30 years, the morale of the 100 Race Alliance had somewhat recovered. The armies from other battlefields had all been withdrawn and combined into one, with a total force exceeding 2 billion. Adding the subsequent troops from various races, the total force should be around 2.5 billion. There were over 150 Transcendent Realm experts. This enormous number made many regain confidence. Especially 2 years ago, when the Abyssal Demon Lord finally recovered from his injuries and returned, declaring that in the previous battle, it was because of a problem with his magical treasure, not because he was inferior to the human race. The Black Gold Saint Venerable also claimed to have brought a treasure that could compare to the human race's War God Spear. The Blood Bull Saint Venerable likewise claimed to have taken out an ancestral treasure with immense power, capable of killing a Saint Venerable. Moreover, the number of Saint Venerables on the 100 Race Alliance side had now reached 6, greatly boosting the army's confidence. Over these 30 years, the Black Gold Saint Venerable had come up with an idea. He set up numerous arenas where cultivators from various races could engage in friendly exchanges. Of course, they couldn't fight to the death, only competing in skill without risking lives. Many cultivators from different races gradually became familiar with each other through these duels, and relationships improved. As a result, the army's combat power increased somewhat, and attention was diverted from their previous defeat. After 30 years, the army's morale had finally fully recovered. In the palace, several Saint Venerables sat in the center, with 150 Transcendent Realm experts distributed around them. The Abyssal Demon Lord said, "Thanks to the Black Gold Saint Venerable's idea, morale has been restored." The Black Gold Saint Venerable said calmly, "It's nothing, and not that important. I've always felt that what truly determines victory or defeat is not them, but us." The Abyssal Demon Lord grunted in agreement. "Last time, there was a problem with my magical treasure. I underestimated the supreme grade treasure, leading to backlash, but it won't happen again. If I encounter her again, I will certainly be able to kill her." The Black Gold Saint Venerable clearly didn't fully believe the Abyssal Demon Lord's words and said calmly, "Let's hope so. When do you all think we should engage in battle again?" Over these years, the battles with the human race had never stopped. However, they were all small skirmishes, with no major frontal battles. The 100 Race Alliance had retreated, and the human race pressed forward, resulting in constant small conflicts. The Black Gold Saint Venerable was now referring to a major frontal battle. He knew very clearly that if they couldn't defeat the human race in a frontal battle, they would inevitably lose this war if it continued. The Abyssal Demon Lord didn't directly answer but said in a low voice, 30 years have passed, and the ghost race hasn't appeared again, and the starry sky giant tree has also disappeared. With these potential threats unresolved, I still feel uneasy." The other Saint Venerables also had headaches about this. The ghost race appeared and disappeared mysteriously, and they could never find any traces. As for the starry sky giant tree, no one knew why it had attacked them, and why it specifically targeted the weak. Afterwards, even the starry sky giant tree's traces were lost, making it impossible to track. These two issues were like thorns in their throats, making it difficult for them to feel at ease. However, the Abyssal Demon Lord continued, "It doesn't matter. We haven't been idle these years. The barriers of various races have all been upgraded. If the ghost race dares to appear again, they will certainly be detected." The Abyssal Demon Lord's promise might not be effective, but it was better than nothing. The Black Gold Saint Venerable said, "There's another matter. In the previous two major battles, the human race was missing someone." "Who?" Everyone looked over, and the Black Gold Saint Venerable said, "Lin Moyu. I've studied Lin Moyu. His techniques are actually very suitable for large-scale battles. If he were to act, it would be a great help to the human race, significantly reducing their casualties. But in the previous two times, Lin Moyu never appeared. No one knows what he's been doing." The Saint Venerables and the surrounding Transcendent Realm experts, even if they hadn't encountered Lin Moyu personally, had all heard his name and knew about his undead army. If the undead army were to act, it would indeed greatly reduce human casualties. But he didn't act, which was very strange. The Blood Bull Saint Venerable asked, could he be in secluded cultivation? No one objected to his words. Thinking about it, this seemed to be the only reason. It was normal for a period of seclusion to last several decades or even over 100 years. However, the Abyssal Demon Lord, who had dealt with Lin Moyu the most, always felt that this matter wasn't so simple. He was wary of Lin Moyu. He had tried to kill Lin Moyu several times before but failed. Lin Moyu's intelligence made him feel thorny. He said in a deep voice, "If Lin Moyu appears on the battlefield, we must kill him immediately." As he spoke, his gaze swept over the seated Transcendent Realm experts. "Everyone, please remember this. If you see Lin Moyu, kill him immediately." All the Transcendent Realm experts nodded. They could hear that the Abyssal Demon Lord wasn't joking. The Blood Bull Saint Venerable laughed deeply. "Abyssal Demon Lord, aren't you being too cautious? Lin Moyu is just a divine venerable. Is it necessary to make such a big fuss?" The Abyssal Demon Lord shook his head. "You don't understand." The Blood Bull Saint Venerable was about to say something more when suddenly a bright red light exploded in space. Everyone simultaneously looked towards the distance, their gazes penetrating countless miles to see the situation far away. The Abyssal Demon Lord said in a low voice, "The human army has moved. Prepare for battle. This time, we must avenge our previous defeat." As the order was issued, the army immediately began to move. Vast auras rose to the sky, emanating boundless killing intent. Chapter 2146, 2146. Chapter 2146, The Resurrected Army, Initial Success. The human army moved in unison, with over 1 billion troops advancing aggressively. On the War God Fortress, several human Saint Venerables stood side by side. The rune Saint Venerable held a flying sword rune in his hand. The flying sword rune disappeared into the starry sky. The War Saint Venerable asked in a low voice, "Has the message been sent?" The rune Saint Venerable nodded slightly, "Yes, but the speed of the flying sword rune is limited. By the time Lin Xiaoyu receives it, our battle here will likely be over." The War Saint Venerable said, "Not necessarily, we can delay a bit." The Sword Saint Venerable frowned slightly, "Lin Moyu wants us to take action to attract the enemy's attention. We can delay a bit, no need to rush." A few days ago, the Rune Saint Venerable suddenly received a flying sword rune from Lin Moyu. The rune instructed them to launch a full-scale attack on the 100 Race Alliance's army 10 days after receiving it. There was no need for actual combat, just to attract the enemy's attention. The Saint Venerables naturally knew what Lin Moyu intended to do, so they mobilized their troops 10 days later. When the human race moved, the 100 Race Alliance would naturally notice and deploy their troops as well. The army advanced slowly, appearing aggressive as if ready for a decisive battle. But in reality, the human army's marching speed was very slow. The Saint Venerables were well aware that this operation was mainly to buy time. Fighting was inevitable, but the goal was to control the duration of the battle. Lin Moyu had already returned from the boundary area and arrived near the Red Tiger clan. The Red Tiger clan had produced a Saint Venerable 100,000 years ago, making them quite powerful, almost becoming a strong clan. 100,000 years ago, their Saint Venerable was killed by Xiao Zontian, and since then, they had no more Saint Venerables. However, they always had transcendence. Currently, there were 3 transcendents in their clan, 2 of whom had gone to the front lines, leaving 1 in the clan. The Red Tiger clan's star region was protected by the demon race's barrier, with the abyssal demon eye monitoring inside. Activating a concealment rune, Lin Moyu smoothly entered the star region. Upon entering, Lin Moyu immediately sensed something unusual. Why is there the aura of the Black Blood Great World here? Lin Moyu's heart sank. The barrier was filled with traces of the Black Blood Great World's aura. Lin Moyu had encountered the power of the Black Blood Great World several times and was very sensitive to its aura. His first reaction was that the demon race had colluded with the Black Blood Great World. Recalling the scenes he had seen in the Lizard God Battle Palace, the shadows of the Black Blood Great World were behind the rebellions of various races. Now, the demon race was entangled with the Black Blood Great World, which seemed quite normal. However, Lin Moyu's killing intent grew stronger. The appearance of the Black Blood Great World's power made him more cautious. The Black Blood Great World hasn't left, they are just hiding somewhere. They are still lurking in the Great World and may have connections with various races. Lin Moyu thought far ahead, putting all races on the blacklist. Any race could potentially harbor the power of the Black Blood Great World, and none could be spared. A containment formation flew out, and the giant rhinoceros beast appeared beside him. "Master, Master, where are you?" Little Bull couldn't see Lin Moyu, even though Lin Moyu was right in front of it. Lin Moyu said, "No need to look, you can't see me." As he spoke, a star map appeared in front of Little Bull. With its intelligence, Little Bull could read the star map. Lin Moyu's voice continued, "This is the Red Tiger clan's star region. Your task is to annihilate the Red Tiger clan. Leave no one alive." Little Bull's eyes widened, "Master, just me alone." Annihilating the Red Tiger clan wasn't a problem, but it was alone. Even if it wiped out star systems one by one, it would take a long time. If it encountered the Transcendent in the Red Tiger clan, it might not be able to win. Lin Moyu said, "I will naturally give you subordinates." The containment formation unfolded, and countless pieces of flesh fell out. In the boundary area over the years, the accumulated remains of giant beasts were countless. Even Lin Moyu couldn't count the exact number. A rough estimate would be over 10 million, and all were divine venerables. A team composed of over 10 million divine venerables would make anyone's head ache. In recent years, Lin Moyu had also killed 6 transcendent-level starry sky beasts. All 6 transcendent-level beasts were brought back by Little Bull, who had gathered almost all the transcendent-level beasts within thousands of light years. Most became nourishment for the bone hell, and the remaining remains were collected by Lin Moyu. In the past 27 years, the bone hell had cleared large areas of the starry sky. About 1,000th of the boundary area had been swept clean. Little Bull stared blankly, not understanding why its master had dumped so much flesh. Does master like to eat roasted meat? Some starry sky beasts do taste good, but some are full of poison and can't be eaten. Little Bull was puzzled, thinking with its own logic. Then Lin Moyu waved his hand, and undying flames exploded in the starry sky, turning the surroundings into a sea of fire. Countless pieces of flesh were reborn in the sea of fire, their souls reconstituted, and their flesh regenerated. Powerful auras surged into the sky. Pieces of shattered flesh transformed back into starry sky beasts. The resurrected starry sky beasts collectively knelt before Lin Moyu, motionless. The starry sky remained incredibly silent, without a sound. Little Bull was completely stunned. Clearly, these starry sky beasts had died, so why were they alive now? Its small worldview was completely overturned. How could such a bizarre thing happen in the world? Master, what's going on? Such a strange scene frightened Little Bull, making its voice tremble. Lin Moyu said, "They are yours to command. 10 million divine venerables should be enough, right?" Little Bull was initially shocked, then quickly nodded, "Rest assured, I will complete the task." Lin Moyu's consciousness moved, commanding all the resurrected beings to unconditionally obey Little Bull. The resurrected beings felt no pain and feared no death, making them far more useful than real starry sky beasts. Moreover, after resurrection, they received certain talent boosts, making their actual combat power stronger than in life. Lin Moyu said, "Go ahead, this place is yours." Little Bull let out a long roar, leading its army of 10 million beasts towards the nearest star system. Lin Moyu watched from afar, wanting to see what use the power of the Black Blood Great World left here had. As Little Bull led the beast army to the nearest star system, the abyssal demon eye suddenly erupted with great commotion. Flames boiled, and the entire barrier lit up. The huge barrier enveloped the entire star system. Lin Moyu felt the barrier instantly strengthen several times, sealing both inside and outside. To prevent the ghost race from escaping, they really spared no effort. In that case, let me add a little more. A rune flew out silently and then burned. Immediately, a layer of spatial power appeared in the starry sky, sealing heaven and earth, preventing anyone from escaping. Space Lock Rune. This was a rune created by Lin Moyu, used to replace the Space Lock formation. The rune contained Lin Moyu's understanding of spatial laws. Once activated, its secrecy and range far surpassed the Space Lock formation. Lin Moyu flew quickly through the starry sky, occasionally activating a Space Lock rune. After activating more than a dozen Space Lock runes, the entire starry sky was completely sealed. The teleportation array was also completely ineffective, making it difficult for anyone inside to escape. The starry sky beast army had already entered the first star system, following Lin Moyu's instructions to leave no one alive. In the blink of an eye, the first star system was completely slaughtered. The containment formation flew out of Little Bull's hand, enveloping the star system and taking it away. Then it hurried to the next star system. Chapter 2147, 2147. Chapter 2147, finally here, the Black Blood Great World. It was clear that Little Bull was commanding such a large army of starry sky beasts in battle for the first time. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had given it full authority, and the resurrected army was extremely obedient, attacking wherever directed. 10 million divine venerable starry sky beasts marched forward in a vast army. Their bodies were huge, looking terrifying. Little Bull went from unfamiliar to familiar, gradually becoming proficient. After wiping out 2 star systems, Little Bull even began to divide its forces. It split the starry sky beast army in 2, attacking 2 star systems simultaneously. The huge commotion finally caught the attention of the abyssal demon eye. Abyssal flames suddenly lit up in space. The abyssal demon eye immediately transmitted a large amount of information back to the demon race, and also to the abyssal demon lord's ears. The abyssal demon lord, who had already arrived at the front lines, was stunned. A beast tide has occurred in the Red Tiger clan's star region. The surrounding Saint Venerables were stunned. The Hell Demon Lord said in a low voice, "What's going on? How could a beast tide occur right before a major battle? The Abyssal Demon Lord sneered, don't you find it strange? In the last battle, the ghost race appeared, and the Starry Sky Giant Tree also mysteriously appeared. We never provoked the Starry Sky Giant Tree. On the contrary, it's the human race that has a grudge against the Starry Sky Giant Tree. I deliberately didn't say anything before, just waiting. Sure enough, as expected, the human race must have reached some kind of agreement with the Starry Sky Beasts. The Black Gold Saint Venerable said in a low voice, you mean, the one from the boundary area? The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed coldly, who else could have the ability to launch a beast tide besides it? I wonder what price the human race paid. The Black Gold Saint Venerable said, what should we do now? If we let the Red Tiger clan be wiped out like before, our 100 race alliance might really fall apart. The Red Tiger clan was not a small clan, different from those wiped out before. Those small and weak clans being wiped out was one thing, but the Red Tiger clan was a medium-sized race with 3 transcendents. In the 100 race alliance, most were medium-sized races like the Red Tiger clan. These races could be said to be the main force of the 100 race alliance. If they were thrown into chaos, the 100 race alliance would be completely finished. So they couldn't ignore what was happening to the Red Tiger clan. The Blood Bull Saint Venerable said coldly, the human race is truly calculating. They engage us in open battle while secretly reaching an agreement with the Starry Sky Beasts to attack the ancestral lands of various races. If we don't intervene, they certainly won't stop. But if we do intervene, the battle at the front lines will be affected. The Abyssal Demon Lord said, the human race must have gotten this idea from the ghost race. It's indeed very effective, but the Demon Lord has already come up with countermeasures and made corresponding arrangements. His laughter gradually turned sinister. All these years, I wasn't just recovering from injuries, I've been doing many things. Don't worry, nothing will happen to the Red Tiger clan. We just need to focus on fighting here. The Black Gold Saint Venerable was very curious, what arrangements did the Demon Lord make? The Abyssal Demon Lord smiled, I can't say. If you want to know, you can ask the Eagle Emperor. This matter was decided jointly by the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor. The Black Gold Saint Venerable was slightly stunned, not expecting the Eagle Emperor to be involved. The Dark Gold Saint Venerable beside him said in a low voice, no wonder the Eagle Emperor told us to just focus on fighting well at the front lines and not worry about other matters. Tisk tisk tisk. The Abyssal Demon Lord's smile became even more chilling, now you understand, right? So don't worry, this time we must teach the human race a lesson. It would be best if we could kill 1 or 2 of their Saint Venerables. Killing intent rose. Although killing a Saint Venerable was difficult, it wasn't impossible. The 100 Race Alliance's army deployed in formation, facing the human army across tens of millions of miles. The battle was about to erupt. In the Red Tiger clan's star region, Little Bull led the resurrected army to conquer 2 more star systems. Its command efficiency was getting higher and higher, even dividing into 3 forces now. Most of the Red Tiger clan's powerful experts had gone to the front lines, leaving behind just a few who couldn't stop the resurrected army. The Starry Sky Beasts rampaged through the Red Tiger clan's star region, countless clan members torn to pieces. As the army passed through, no living being was left in the star systems. Lin Moyu hid in the shadows, watching the star region, feeling the changes within. He sensed the power of the Black Blood Great World gradually strengthening, continuously gathering. I want to see what you guys are trying to do. The demon race's collusion with the Black Blood Great World was now a fact. The arrangements in the star region now should be aimed at the ghost race. However, what they didn't expect was that the ghost race didn't come instead, it was the resurrected army that arrived. Encountering the experts of the Black Blood Great World again, Lin Moyu wanted to see more of their methods. Knowing oneself and the enemy is the key to winning every battle. The more he knew, the more targeted arrangements he could make in the future. Boom! A massive aura surged into the sky as a huge red tiger charged through space. Bastards! Stop! Amidst angry roars, terrifying energy swept through space, beams of light tearing through the starry sky. In an instant, dozens of resurrected beings were hit by the light beams, turning to ash on the spot. The transcendent left behind in the Red Tiger clan had arrived, filled with boundless rage as he charged towards the resurrected army. Moo! Little Bull also roared, the sharp horn on its head erupting with boundless lightning, forming a sea of lightning in space. At the same time, space became viscous, like a swamp. Little Bull charged forward, engaging in battle with the Red Tiger clan's transcendent. Meanwhile, over 100 peak divine venerable starry sky beasts from the resurrected army also charged back, cooperating with Little Bull to attack the Red Tiger clan's Transcendent. Little Bull's strength was about equal to its opponent, but with the cooperation of the peak divine venerables, the opponent had no chance of winning. However, this meant Little Bull couldn't spare attention to command the resurrected army. Lin Moyu's mind moved, taking over command, directing the army to continue attacking the Red Tiger clan. The Red Tiger clan's Transcendent roared continuously, his voice becoming more and more urgent, but he was tightly entangled by Little Bull, unable to break free. He could only watch helplessly as his homeland was destroyed and his clansmen killed. The Red Tiger clan's Transcendent's eyes turned red, manifesting a sea of blood in space, as if representing his hatred and anger. The power fluctuations of the Black Blood Great World became more and more obvious. Space gradually darkened, as if in the dark void, beginning to devour light. When the power gathered to its limit, a black vortex appeared in space. The vortex devoured starlight for billions of miles around, then a black-robed figure appeared. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly, finally here. The black-robed figure came from the Black Blood Great World, with an aura completely different from the Great World. Bloodlines flowed on the black-robed figure's body, carrying a strong bloody smell. The bloody smell struck directly at the soul, making one want to vomit upon smelling it. The black-robed figure's gaze swept through space. The next moment, the black-robed figure exploded on the spot, turning into countless bloodlines. The bloodlines moved extremely fast, traversing space, piercing into the bodies of the resurrected beings. But in the next second, these bloodlines all returned, seemingly having no effect. The resurrected beings remained unchanged, completely unaware. Lin Moyu, as their master, also felt nothing, not knowing what the other party had done. The bloodlines gathered back, reforming into the black-robed figure. Although his body was completely covered in black robes, his face unseen, Lin Moyu could see shock in his eyes. Clearly, he was surprised that his attack had no effect. Lin Moyu suddenly thought of something. In the dark void, an expert from the Black Blood Great World had once controlled a large number of starry sky beasts. Could it be that he wanted to control these starry sky beasts? If so, it's indeed impossible to succeed. The resurrected beings were not ordinary starry sky beasts. They had died and been resurrected, becoming Lin Moyu's slaves. How could they be controlled again? The black-robed figure's gaze turned towards Little Bull, who was still battling the Red Tiger clan's Transcendent. His body became ethereal, and in the next second, he had crossed tens of millions of miles, joining the battle. Chapter 2148, 2148. Chapter 2148. 30 years ago, you said the same thing. The black-robed figure charged into the sea of lightning, attacking Little Bull. Little Bull let out a muffled cry, and the lightning immediately became violent, exploding with thunderous booms in the starry sky. The black-robed figure was blasted away. Although not seriously injured, he looked somewhat disheveled. Little Bull grumbled, "Where did this trash come from, daring to sneak attack this bull?" When the black-robed figure appeared, Little Bull had already noticed him and kept an eye on him. Sneak attacks weren't so easy. The black-robed figure said nothing, but a long sword appeared in his hand. The sword was slightly curved, different from the straight swords used by humans. Cultivators from the Black Blood Great World excel at using such curved swords. The one in the dark void also used a similar weapon. The two swords were 90% similar, but the one used by the figure in the dark void was much more powerful. He's not as strong as the one from the dark void. His realm seems equivalent to the Transcendent realm, probably weaker than a Saint Venerable. But if combined with secret techniques from the Black Blood Great World, he might be able to fight a Saint Venerable briefly, though he would certainly lose in the end. Lin Moyu quickly assessed the situation. This cultivator from the Black Blood Great World was slightly stronger than an ordinary Transcendent, but not as strong as a Saint Venerable. In a direct confrontation, Little Bull was no match. Moreover, Little Bull still had to deal with the Red Tiger clan's Transcendent. Seeing the black-robed figure draw his sword, Little Bull suddenly felt a chill. It sensed a deadly threat. Oh no, his sword seems unusual. Little Bull is in trouble this time. Little Bull cried out inwardly, when suddenly it heard Lin Moyu's voice, "You just focus on dealing with the Red Tiger clan." At this moment, Lin Moyu's voice sounded like heavenly music, incredibly pleasant to hear. Little Bull trusted Lin Moyu. It turned its body and once again erupted with a sea of lightning, continuing to battle the Red Tiger clan's Transcendent. The black-robed figure held his sharp sword, black and red light flickering on his body. Just as he was about to attack, layers of white mist suddenly appeared before him. The black-robed figure instinctively swung his sword, sending out a blade of sword energy. The white mist was dispersed by the sword energy, and the black-robed figure took the opportunity to charge into Little Bull's sea of lightning. Boom! An explosion sounded, and the black-robed figure's body suddenly burst open. Black smoke poured out from the black-robed figure's body, and black-red blood dripped in the starry sky. Countless lightning bolts struck his body, making it difficult for him to move, adding injury to injury. After enduring one corpse explosion, the black-robed figure was severely injured, but not dead. His life force was extremely powerful. Even using a transcendent-level starry sky beast as a weapon, Lin Moyu couldn't kill him with one explosion. If once wasn't enough, then twice. If twice wasn't enough, then thrice. 2 more thunderous booms followed in quick succession. The black-robed figure finally let out a miserable scream, his body shattering into pieces in the explosions. A peak divine venerable level resurrected being flew to the abyssal demon eye and bit it, directly crushing the abyssal demon eye to pieces. Destroying the abyssal demon eye meant destroying the demon race's surveillance here. Some things I let you see only because I want you to see them. Lin Moyu deliberately let the demon race see the army composed of starry sky beasts, intending to mislead them. At the same time, he knew clearly that the Red Tiger clan was different from the previous small clans. Whether it was destroyed or not would have significant implications for the entire 100 Race Alliance. I wonder how the battle at the front lines is going. After this great battle, even if the 100 Race Alliance doesn't fall apart completely, it won't be as united as before. The containment formation flashed by, collecting all the flesh and blood of the black-robed figure. At the front lines, a great battle was about to erupt. The Abyssal Demon Lord suddenly trembled, his aura shaking. The Abyssal Demon Eye placed in the Red Tiger clan has been destroyed. The other Saint Venerables looked over. What's the situation there? The Abyssal Demon Lord communicated with the Abyssal Demon Eye, obtaining the final information. The last thing the Abyssal Demon Eye saw was the black-robed figure charging into the Sea of Lightning, and then nothing more. The Abyssal Demon Lord said, "The Demon Lord's backup plan has been activated. There shouldn't be any problems." Though he said this, he felt somewhat uneasy for some reason. The Abyssal Demon Lord said, "I'll ask the Demon Lord to see what the situation is there." He transformed into flames, intending to contact the Demon Lord who was far away in the demon race's ancestral lands. Suddenly, the flames surged, and a warning of danger came from his soul. In his vision, a terrifying sword light tore through the starry sky. The sword Saint Venerable had struck, her sword seeming to cut through the Milky Way, enveloping all the Saint Venerables of the 100 Race Alliance. Following the sword light, the War God Spear arrived, transforming into a giant spear 1,000,000 meters long in the starry sky, flying over with a thunderous boom. As the Sword Saint Venerable and War Saint Venerable made their moves, the great battle began. At this moment, the number of Saint Venerables on the human side was not as many as the 100 Race Alliance. The War Saint Venerable, Sword Saint Venerable, Rune Saint Venerable, Kill Saint Venerable, plus Lin Mohan, only made 5 Saint Venerable level combat powers. But on the 100 Race Alliance side, there were 6 Saint Venerable level combat powers. Having one less Saint Venerable level combatant made a huge difference. However, the humans were not afraid. They fought as soon as the battle began. The Saint Venerables quickly locked onto their opponents. They were all old rivals, except for the Hell Demon Lord who was new and had no opponent. The humans were prepared for this. The War God Fortress flew out with a rumble, transforming into a terrifying war machine, directly facing off against the Hell Demon Lord. Inside the War God Fortress were 10 Transcendents and 100 Peak Divine Venerables operating it, providing energy. Various weapons deployed from the War God Fortress, unleashing a barrage of attacks against the Hell Demon Lord. Each attack exceeded the Transcendent level. Though not quite at the Saint Venerable level, the difference wasn't too great. Even he would be injured if he wasn't careful. The Hell Demon Lord was stunned for a moment, never imagining the War God Fortress would be so powerful. The War God Fortress was said to be the human race's strongest war machine, able to match Transcendent level power. Now he realized that claim was an understatement. The true combat power of the War God Fortress definitely exceeded ordinary Transcendent level. The War God Fortress deployed formations, locking down space and trapping the Hell Demon Lord, forcing him to engage in battle. The Hell Demon Lord manifested a boundless hell, enveloping the War God Fortress. Hellfire rained down like meteors, but they were all blocked by the war god fortress. Whether in terms of formations or materials, the war god fortress had reached the pinnacle of human technology. Even a Saint Venerable would find it difficult to destroy. The Abyssal Demon Lord faced Lin Mohan again. Hatred filled the Abyssal Demon Lord's eyes. This time, I will definitely kill you. Lin Mohan's tone was cold. Let's see if you can escape this time. A shield appeared in front of the Abyssal Demon Lord. Made of white bone, it looked especially eerie against the backdrop of abyssal flames. Then, from behind the shield, a bone sword flew out. This was a set of sword and shield treasures, Saint Venerable level artifacts with powerful might. The Abyssal Demon Lord had spent over 10 years during his recovery period to refine them. Origin Fire, burn! The Abyssal Demon Lord let out a low roar, and the aura of origin power spread out, growing stronger and stronger. The Origin Fire rose, fully activating the power of the sword and shield. Space crackled in the flames, shattering one after another. Lin Mohan casually swung out a blade of sword energy. The shield rapidly expanded, transforming into thousands of bone shields, protecting the Abyssal Demon Lord from all angles with no blind spots. The sword energy struck the shield without causing any ripples. The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed loudly, with the bone shield protecting me, you can't harm me at all. I will use the Origin Fire to slowly burn you to ashes. Lin Mohan sneered, you said the same thing 30 years ago. Sword/Void. Brilliant sword light tore through the starry sky, enveloping the Abyssal Demon Lord completely. The Abyssal Demon Lord was not afraid at all. He used the shield to defend while swinging his sword to attack Lin Mohan. At this moment, Lin Mohan suddenly shouted, explode. Boom! The bone shield and bone sword in the Abyssal Demon Lord's hands exploded simultaneously. Chapter 2149, 2149. Chapter 2149. When I become a Saint Venerable, I will surely kill you. What the hell? The Abyssal Demon Lord felt like he had seen a ghost. The magical treasure he had refined himself had exploded again. The power of the exploding bone sword and bone shield gathered together, reforming into a giant sword that slashed towards the Abyssal Demon Lord. The starry sky was sealed, and the Abyssal Demon Lord had nowhere to escape. At this moment, Lin Mohan's sword/void also arrived. The Abyssal Demon Lord roared in anger, once again summoning his rules world. The sword light exploded, and the Abyssal Demon Lord's rules world was shattered on the spot, mostly destroyed. Lin Mohan then slashed out a second sword, this one powerful enough to take the Abyssal Demon Lord's life. The Abyssal Demon Lord screamed, Demon Lord, save me. A demonic face appeared in the Origin Fire, spitting flames that collided with the sword light, causing a sky full of firelight. In the firelight, the Abyssal Demon Lord transformed into a giant, with the Origin Fire soaring into the sky. The Demon Lord's face floated in the flames, staring intently at Lin Mohan, who exactly are you? First, it was a supreme grade magical treasure, and now a Saint Venerable grade magical treasure. Both treasures inexplicably exploded and even turned against him. This was extremely unusual. And all the unusual events originated from this human woman before him. Lin Mohan, valiant and heroic, looked coldly at the Demon Lord, the one who will kill you. The heaven and earth sword in her hand suddenly lit up. Without any unnecessary words, Lin Mohan slashed out again. The sword light was even more dazzling than before, with terrifying sword energy sweeping across billions of miles of the starry sky, covering almost half the battlefield. Countless warriors in the midst of battle were horrified, their bodies covered in fine wounds, and they quickly retreated. Fortunately, they were far from Lin Mohan, only suffering minor impacts. Those at the Transcendent Realm, being relatively closer, had more severe wounds. Though the wounds were only physical and not a big deal for Transcendence, the fact that they were injured by the aftershocks from billions of miles away made Lin Mohan's sword strike terrifying. Not only the human Transcendence but also the alien Transcendence were the same. They all stopped fighting simultaneously, looking towards Lin Mohan. Just one glance made their eyes ache, with blood tears streaming down their faces. The Saint Venerables closest to Lin Mohan almost simultaneously shouted, their rules worlds appearing, enveloping their bodies with rules power. The sword energy swept through the starry sky, and they bore the brunt of it. Countless sword energies fell upon them, impacting their rules worlds. The War Saint Venerable's eyes were filled with shock, this sword is extremely terrifying. The Sword Saint Venerable's eyes showed a hint of fascination, this is the true way of the sword. This sword has truly reached the peak of the Saint Venerable realm. In their eyes, Lin Mohan's sword had reached the pinnacle of the Saint Venerable realm. But Lin Mohan was only at the transcendent realm, and she had only taken a small step in the transcendent realm, far from reaching the Saint Venerable realm, not even having constructed a rules world. How could she unleash such a powerful sword strike? One sword to annihilate the world. Within the sword light, a world evolved, incredibly prosperous and brilliant, filled with living beings. But then, this world was annihilated within the sword light. This sword shattered a world, performing an act of world annihilation. The demon lord's face changed dramatically, roaring in anger. The abyssal fire and hellfire converged, forming the true demon fire. The origin fire belonging to the abyssal demon lord joined in, further enhancing the power of the demon fire. The demon fire condensed into a blade, meeting the sword light head-on. With a loud boom, the demon fire collapsed, just like the world within the sword light, completely disintegrating. The flames were split apart, even the demon lord's face was cut in half. The demon lord roared again, the flames boiling a second time, exploding in the starry sky, turning the starry sky into a sea of fire in an instant. From within the sea of fire came the demon lord's voice, "Who exactly are you?" His voice carried anger and a hint of fear. Lin Mohan's sword was indeed excessively powerful, even he was shocked. Lin Mohan coldly snorted, "When I reach the Saint Venerable realm, I will surely kill you." She was still only at the transcendent realm, a bit short of killing the demon lord. If she reached the Saint Venerable realm, she would indeed have the possibility of killing the demon lord. As Lin Mohan spoke, the sea of fire exploded, countless flames soaring into the sky, enveloping billions of miles of the starry sky. The demon lord was already filled with anger and killing intent. He wanted to kill Lin Mohan, not giving her the chance to reach the Saint Venerable realm. At this moment, Lin Mohan's face was slightly pale. The one sword to annihilate the world had almost exhausted her. However, her expression remained cold, unafraid even in the sea of fire. The heaven and earth sword vibrated, scattering sword light to protect Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan flew backward, not entangling with the demon lord. The sea of fire surged, transforming into a terrifying demon that charged towards Lin Mohan. With the heaven and earth sword's protection, Lin Mohan was not afraid. Suddenly, countless starlights came from afar, traversing infinite distances in an instant, arriving above the sea of fire. The starlights fell into the sea of fire, causing a thunderous roar, and the demon formed by the flames collapsed on the spot. The starlights condensed into the figure of Star Elder. Star Elder coldly snorted, "Old fellow, are you breaking the rules?" The flames once again gathered into the demon lord's face, staring intently at Star Elder. Star Elder also smiled at the demon lord, but his smile was filled with killing intent. Both Star Elder and the demon lord wanted to kill each other. But neither made a move. The demon lord snorted, the flames quickly retracting, transforming back into the form of the abyssal demon lord. At this moment, the abyssal demon lord seemed to have lost consciousness, with the demon lord controlling his body. The demon lord said in a deep voice, "Have you made an agreement with the one from the boundary area?" Star Elder looked at the demon lord with a half-smile, slowly spitting out a few words, "Is it any of your business?" The demon lord snorted and said no more. Indeed, it was none of his business. Both sides were mortal enemies, and any means were fair game. With the intervention of the demon lord and Star Elder, the battle changed. The Saint Venerables on both sides stopped fighting, and their clashes were no longer as intense as before. Star Elder's gaze swept across the battlefield, smiling, "You fight your battles, don't mind us." His seemingly casual words sounded like an order, and the battlefield erupted again. "Kill!" The Sword Saint Venerable let out a shout, reigniting her fighting spirit, her sword intent soaring as she charged towards her opponent. Star Elder smiled with satisfaction, saying to Lin Mohan, "You just focus on recovering. With me here, no one can harm you." Lin Mohan nodded, her beautiful eyes closing as she began to recover. Her battle with the Abyssal Demon Lord had been interrupted by the Demon Lord, preventing her from killing the Abyssal Demon Lord. However, the Abyssal Demon Lord was severely injured, especially his rules world, which was nearly shattered. It would take many years to recover. The Demon Lord and Star Elder faced off, but neither made a move. Both were not physically present, only projections had come, with combat power comparable to the peak of the Saint Venerable realm. In this state, fighting was meaningless. The battle continued, with neither the 100 Race Alliance nor the human race willing to lose. The 100 Race Alliance desperately needed a victory to truly boost morale. The human race, besides needing to win, also needed time. In the White Tiger Clan's star region, Lin Moyu quickly eliminated the cultivators from the Black Blood Great World and collected their corpses. Since they have set up countermeasures to guard against the ghost race reappearing, there must be more than just this. The Red Tiger Clan's star region might already be surrounded. I wonder if they will break in. Should I save the Red Tiger Clan or abandon them? Screams echoed as the Red Tiger Clan's transcendent, under the siege of Little Bull and the resurrected army, finally fell. He was severely injured and fled quickly. Little Bull wasn't good at speed and couldn't catch up for a while. It wasn't easy to kill a fleeing transcendent. Suddenly, a white mist appeared in the starry sky, rapidly expanding and engulfing the Red Tiger Clan's transcendent. Little Bull was stunned, knowing it was Lin Moyu who had made a move. It immediately turned and continued to command the resurrected army to attack other star systems. The Red Tiger Clan's transcendent struggled frantically in the bone hell, but he had no chance of escaping and would soon be killed. Lin Moyu sensed the changes in the star region, a smile gradually forming on his lips. They've arrived. Chapter 2150, 2150. Chapter 2150, Half-Step Supreme of the Black Blood Great World. As he had anticipated, the 100 Race Alliance did not rely on just one method. If only one expert from the Black Blood Great World came, it might not be enough to stop the ghost race. Given the cunning of the demon race and the caution of the Golden Eagle race, they would surely prepare multiple contingencies. Perhaps this expert from the Black Blood Great World was only here to test the waters. Unfortunately, they misjudged one thing. It wasn't the ghost race that came, but Lin Moyu and his resurrected army. Lin Moyu sensed the changes in the barrier. It was becoming more solid, and the space was stabilizing. If this had happened 80 years ago, Lin Moyu might have been helpless. But now, with the concealment rune, such methods were ineffective. The runes passed down from the ancient heavenly venerables were far more miraculous than imagined. Looking at the Red Tiger Clan star region, which had been mostly destroyed, Lin Moyu said to Little Bull, "That's enough, come back." Little Bull obediently led the resurrected army back. The containment formation expanded, collecting Little Bull and the resurrected army. Then Lin Moyu quickly moved to the edge of the star region and confidently passed through the barrier. Although the barrier had strengthened, it still couldn't stop the concealment rune. Lin Moyu concealed his presence and stealthily moved along the outskirts of the star region. He saw 4 transcendent-level demons reinforcing the barrier. Not far away, there were several Golden Eagle Transcendents and a Golden Eagle Saint Venerable. This Saint Venerable emitted a bright golden light. Lin Moyu recognized him as the Golden Saint Venerable. According to human records, he hadn't appeared for many years and hadn't shown up on the battlefield either. Unexpectedly, he was here now. 5 Golden Eagle Transcendents and 1 Saint Venerable. 4 Demon Transcendents. A total of 10 experts, an extremely powerful force. They really think highly of me. Lin Moyu sneered, fully understanding the situation. The expert from the Black Blood Great World was just a decoy, meant to stall him. The Black Blood Great World seemed to have a unique method, allowing free movement in areas filled with its power. Lin Moyu didn't know the specifics, but such an arrangement must have its reasons. Using the expert from the Black Blood Great World to stall him, then reinforcing the barrier, and finally having the Golden Eagle experts deliver the killing blow. With space sealed and no way to escape, the Golden Eagle race would have an absolute advantage. However, they hadn't anticipated the power of the concealment rune, which rendered the reinforced barrier useless against Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu knew his own strength. Although he wasn't afraid of a Saint Venerable, killing one would come at a cost, which was unnecessary at the moment. Moreover, the Red Tiger clan had been mostly destroyed, and he had learned the 100 Race Alliance's methods against him. That was enough. Suddenly, Lin Moyu felt a slight tremor in his heart, sensing danger. He quickly moved far away, glancing into the distance. He sensed a terrifying presence rapidly approaching. It's a half-step supreme, on the same level as Star Elder. And there are 2 of them. Lin Moyu saw 2 points of light in the distance. 2 half-step supremes had arrived. The auras were both familiar and unfamiliar. One belonged to the Golden Eagle race, with its unique aura. The other was even more distinct, belonging to the Black Blood Great World. Lin Moyu didn't dare look too long, fearing they might sense him. There's still a half-step supreme in the Black Blood Great World. What exactly happened back then? Why didn't I see the Black Blood Great World in the Sea of Realms? If the realm seashell hadn't been damaged, Lin Moyu would have wanted to go back to the Sea of Realms to search for the Black Blood Great World. He believed the Black Blood Great World hadn't disappeared but was hiding in a way he didn't know. The fact that there were still experts from the Black Blood Great World in the Great World was the best evidence. The Eagle Emperor and a black-robed figure arrived outside the Red Tiger Clan Star region. The black-robed figure glanced into the distance, seemingly searching for something. The Eagle Emperor followed his gaze but saw nothing and asked, "What's wrong?" The black-robed figure shook his head, "Maybe I was mistaken." He was looking in the direction Lin Moyu had left. After moving billions of miles away, Lin Moyu took out his warship and boarded it. The warship started, entering deep space and flying away. At the same time, Lin Moyu took out a flying sword rune and sent the information he had gathered back to the human race. The fact that there were still practitioners from the Black Blood Great World, including a half-step supreme, was a significant matter for the human race and had to be reported immediately. As far as he knew, besides Star Elder and the Human Emperor, there were no other half-step supremes in the human race. Moreover, both had limitations. Star Elder's limitations were less severe, allowing him to leave the human territory. The Human Emperor, however, couldn't leave the human territory and could only fight within it. Due to the nature of the Human Emperor network, the closer to the central region, the stronger the Human Emperor's power. In the 4-star regions, the Human Emperor was only comparable to a Saint Venerable, far from a half-step supreme. So in Lin Moyu's eyes, the human race only had 1.5 half-step supremes. This was slightly inferior to the Golden Eagle race and the Demon race. They were sufficient for defense but lacked the strength for offense. But now, with the addition of a half-step supreme from the Black Blood Great World, the human race was at a complete disadvantage. Lin Moyu pondered the information he had gathered, comparing it with what he knew. The Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor seemed to have limitations similar to Star Elder. Their power weakens the farther they are from their territory. But they are better off than the Human Emperor. The half-step supreme from the Black Blood Great World likely has limitations too, otherwise, they would have acted long ago. Currently, the human race can defend but has difficulty attacking. I wonder how the front lines are doing. The Red Tiger clan hasn't been wiped out, so the 100 Race Alliance won't collapse. The 100 Race Alliance hasn't reached the point of collapse yet. It seems more time is needed. I need to adjust my plans slightly. Should I make a big move? Lin Moyu knew it was impossible to wipe out each race one by one as he had hoped. These races weren't wooden dummies, they wouldn't just stand there waiting to be killed. If they saw things going wrong, they would naturally flee, and they would definitely flee to the outer regions. Lin Moyu thought he needed to find a way to solve this problem. If they really escaped to the outer regions, it would be troublesome later. In the Red Tiger Clan Star region, the Golden Saint Venerable's eyes flashed with a golden light, filled with disbelief. When did they escape? How could they escape? The barrier showed no signs of disturbance, yet the Red Tiger Clan Star region was devoid of starry sky beasts. The starry sky beasts had vanished into thin air. The Eagle Emperor looked at the black-robed figure beside him. "Blood Venerable, what do you think?" The Blood Venerable said in a low voice, "Earlier, my subordinate was killed here. He died quickly and couldn't send back much information. But from the information he did send, it seems there was someone else here." The Eagle Emperor said, "To kill a transcendent so quickly, it must have been a Saint Venerable. Could it be the one from the boundary area?" The Blood Venerable shook his head. "It's hard to say, but we can't rule out the possibility." The Golden Saint Venerable suddenly said, "I remember there was a starry sky beast in the boundary area called the Phantom Beast. It seemed to have the ability to ignore formations and barriers." The Eagle Emperor's eyes lit up. "It seems I need to visit the boundary area." The Blood Venerable said, "I won't go." Understood. Chapter 2151, 2151. Chapter 2151, What I Want, You Don't Have. The appearance of the Bone Hell, coupled with the actions of the human race, led the 100 Race Alliance to mistakenly believe it was the work of the Ghost Race. This time, the resurrected army made them think that the human race had allied with the starry sky beasts from the boundary area. They never suspected Lin Moyu. Firstly, Lin Moyu's realm was still low. According to their intelligence, Lin Moyu was still at Divine Venerable rank 2 and couldn't possibly achieve these feats. Secondly, it seemed Lin Moyu had been in seclusion within the human race and hadn't ventured out. So, they instinctively ruled out Lin Moyu. The great battle in the Vermilion Bird Star region lasted nearly a month before finally coming to an end. In this battle, neither side emerged victorious. Both sides suffered casualties, and neither gained a significant advantage. Even with the War Saint Venerable's War God Spear, they couldn't secure an absolute upper hand. Only Lin Mohan managed to severely injure the Abyssal Demon Lord. Overall, the human race still held the advantage. Lin Mohan's one sword to annihilate the world was indeed powerful, but it also took a heavy toll on her. After that sword strike, it took her an entire month to fully recover. Star Elder and the Demon Lord faced off for a month without either making a move. After the withdrawal, the human race took time to rest and reorganize. Although they didn't win, their morale wasn't affected. To them, the human race still emerged victorious. The 100 Race Alliance had 2 billion people, while the human race had only 1 billion. Despite being outnumbered, they managed to hold their ground and suffered fewer casualties. If that wasn't a victory, what was? In the War God Fortress, the War Saint Venerable said in a low voice, "Something's not right. Where did they get so many magical treasures?" As soon as he spoke, everyone present felt the same. The Transcendents present also had the same feeling. In this battle, many Transcendents from the 100 Race Alliance wielded powerful magical treasures. These magical treasures were clearly not from their own races, and no one knew where they came from. Each one was very powerful. Otherwise, the human Transcendents could have easily suppressed them. The Sword Saint Venerable said, "As far as we know, neither the demon race nor the Golden Eagle race is skilled in crafting magical treasures." The Rune Saint Venerable said, "These magical treasures appeared suddenly, distributed by the demon race, and almost every Transcendent received one." He knew more information through the Zimu ancestor tree. Over the years, the demon race had continuously distributed a large number of magical treasures to every Transcendent. Even those Transcendents didn't know the origin of the magical treasures. They just used them because they had them. The highest level of these magical treasures was at the Divine Venerable level. This information was inadvertently discovered during discussions among the Transcendents. At this moment, a flying sword rune suddenly flew in from a distance and landed in the hands of the Rune Saint Venerable. After reading its contents, the Rune Saint Venerable calmly put it away. He said loudly, "The Human Emperor Network has sent information. A beast tide has occurred in the Red Tiger Clan Star region." Everyone was stunned. A beast tide had occurred. This hadn't happened in a long time, but considering the location of the Red Tiger Clan, it seemed normal. The starry sky beasts from the boundary area occasionally attacked various races within the region. The frequency and location of beast tides were unpredictable. Most people thought this beast tide was just a coincidence. The Rune Saint Venerable didn't say much more, and everyone continued their discussions. After some discussion, the Transcendents left, leaving only a few Saint Venerables and Lin Mohan in the meeting hall. The Kill Saint Venerable asked, "The beast tide, was it Lin Moyu's doing?" The Rune Saint Venerable nodded, "There were too many people just now, so I didn't say." The beast tide was indeed Lin Moyu's doing. The Sword Saint Venerable frowned. Why did he initiate a beast tide, and how could he command the starry sky beasts? The Rune Saint Venerable said, "That's not important. What's important is something else. Lin Moyu encountered people from the Black Blood Great World." Everyone was stunned, and then killing intent surged. The Black Blood Great World and the Great World were mortal enemies. This enmity was ingrained in their blood and bones. Just hearing the name Black Blood Great World incited killing intent. The War Saint Venerable said in a low voice, "Explain in detail." The Rune Saint Venerable recounted the information Lin Moyu had brought back. The people from the Black Blood Great World have colluded with the Demon race and the Golden Eagle race. Also, the Red Gold Saint Venerable from the Golden Eagle race has appeared. They seem to be targeting the Ghost race, but they didn't expect Lin Moyu to initiate the Beast Tide. He feels that the people from the Black Blood Great World are not simple and wants us to be cautious. From the information Lin Moyu brought back, it seemed the Black Blood Great World was only colluding with the Demon race and the Golden Eagle race. But everyone tacitly agreed that the Black Blood Great World had colluded with the entire 100 Race Alliance. As mortal enemies of the Great World, the Black Blood Great World and the Great World could only fight to the death. Anyone who colluded with the Black Blood Great World was an enemy of the Great World and the human race. The Kill Saint Venerable exuded killing intent. Did they want to repeat the events of ancient times? Although our strength is far from the ancient era, we will never allow such things to happen. The War Saint Venerable said, "Back then, the Black Blood Great World and the ancient heavenly venerables and supremes disappeared together, vanishing for 1,000,000 years. According to our records, during that Great War, the Black Blood Great World's strength was not actually greater than the Great World's. It was only because of the rebellions of various races that the Great World fell into a disadvantage. In that Great War, the Black Blood Great World also suffered heavy losses. The remaining forces shouldn't be too strong. The Rune Saint Venerable nodded. I think so too. Lin Moyu said he saw a half-step supreme from the Black Blood Great World. I estimate that might be their strongest remaining force. Several people frowned, and the Sword Saint Venerable said in a low voice, a half-step supreme, that's a bit troublesome. The War Saint Venerable said, I wonder if the half-step supreme from the Black Blood Great World has any limitations. The human race's Star Elder, the demon race's Demon Lord, and the Golden Eagle race's Eagle Emperor all have certain limitations. If the half-step supreme from the Black Blood Great World has no limitations, it would be a big problem. The Kill Saint Venerable said, it might not be just a half-step supreme. Don't forget the one in the Dark Void. The one in the Dark Void from the Black Blood Great World is actually equivalent to a supreme. No one knows what method he used to survive from the ancient era to the present. If there are more like him, the human race might not be able to withstand it. At this moment, Lin Mohan slowly opened her beautiful eyes. No need to worry. When I reach the Saint Venerable realm, I can kill a half-step supreme. When I reach the half-step supreme realm, perhaps I can kill a supreme. She spoke calmly, without a ripple, but it sent chills down everyone's spine. No one thought she was joking, they believed she was stating a fact. As for when she could reach the Saint Venerable realm, it depended not only on Lin Mohan's cultivation but also on Lin Moyu. As long as Lin Moyu could advance a few more ranks, he could push Lin Mohan to the Saint Venerable realm. The War Saint Venerable said, Fairy Han, when you advance to the Saint Venerable realm and need to construct a rules world, we can provide everything you need. Just ask. Lin Mohan shook her head, what I need, you might not have. The Sword Saint Venerable was puzzled, what could there be that we don't have? She didn't understand. With the resources of the human race, they could provide almost anything. If they didn't have it, probably no one did. The Rule Divine Stone. Lin Mohan uttered 4 words. Chapter 2152, 2152. Chapter 2152, The Master of the Boundary Area. The Rule Divine Stone. Several Saint Venerables had heard of it, but only the Rune Saint Venerable had actually seen it. The Sword Saint Venerable frowned, the legendary material used to pave the divine path, we seem to really not have it. The Rune Saint Venerable said, indeed, our human race's warehouse does not have it, but Lin Moyu has a piece. Previously, Lin Moyu had obtained a piece of the Rule Divine Stone. None of the Saint Venerables could touch it, and ultimately, the Rule Divine Stone was entrusted to Lin Moyu for safekeeping. His words made the Sword Saint Venerable's eyebrows rise, and the initial disappointment instantly disappeared. He immediately said, then let him bring it. The Rune Saint Venerable said, there's no rush. Fairy Han has not yet reached the Saint Venerable realm, and Lin Moyu is still out dealing with matters. He will naturally return after some time. Lin Mohan said, no rush. When Lin Moyu returns, I will ask him for it. The Rune Saint Venerable thought to himself, the Rule Divine Stone is a material for repairing the divine path. I wonder how Lin Moyu will decide. This thought could only stay in his mind and not be spoken aloud. After all, the Rule Divine Stone belonged to Lin Moyu, and how it would be handled was ultimately up to him. The Saint Venerables present had already regarded Lin Mohan as the reincarnation of an ancient mighty being. They all had expectations that once Lin Mohan reached the Saint Venerable realm, she could indeed cut down a half-step supreme, giving the human race the true strength to flatten all other races. Currently, even if they could win on the front lines against the Abyssal Demon Lord, they were still somewhat powerless against the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor. A month later, Lin Moyu's warship reappeared. Since the battle with the Red Tiger clan, Lin Moyu had slightly altered his original plan. Originally, he intended to cripple several races and then annihilate them together to reap the rewards of the Great World. But now, with the Black Blood Great World intervening and the various races already on guard, his plan could no longer proceed as originally intended. Moreover, he realized that the 100-Race Alliance still had its uses and couldn't be allowed to collapse just yet. At least, until the issue of them fleeing to the outer regions was resolved, they couldn't be allowed to collapse. The human race didn't have enough troops to pursue and kill the various races in the outer regions. How to keep them within the inner regions became the biggest problem at hand. If he continued to play the role of the ghost race and wiped out a few more races, the 100-race alliance would inevitably fall apart. The various races would certainly have large numbers of people fleeing to the outer regions, making it impossible to sever the karma of the great world. All previous efforts would be in vain. After some thought, Lin Moyu realized that only one person could accomplish this task. That was the king of the boundary area. Lin Moyu inquired about the direction from Little Bull and then flew towards the Azure Dragon Star region. The king of the boundary area, referred to by Little Bull as Lord Tianlong, resided in a region in the direction of the Azure Dragon Star region. Of course, it was still hundreds of thousands of light years away from the Azure Dragon Star region. The warship circled through deep space and once again arrived at the edge of the boundary area. Once entering the boundary area, deep space navigation was no longer possible. Lin Moyu put away the warship and summoned Little Bull. Flying onto Little Bull's back, he said, "Little Bull, take me to see Lord Tianlong." Little Bull mooed and let out a cow's cry, "Yes, master." Now, it was completely convinced of Lin Moyu's mastery. At Divine Venerable rank 5, he could easily crush a transcendent. Such combat power was unheard of. Little Bull thought, if Lin Moyu reached the transcendent realm, could he even crush a half-step supreme? Being a mount for such a person, Little Bull even felt a sense of honor. It carried Lin Moyu, flying and shuttling through the starry sky. The aura of the transcendent realm spread out, and no Divine Venerable level starry sky beasts dared to approach. As Little Bull quickly approached the area where Tianlong resided, Lin Moyu suddenly said, "Stop." Little Bull came to an abrupt halt. "Master, what are your orders?" Lin Moyu said, "There was a battle here not long ago." Little Bull looked around but didn't find anything. Lin Moyu was very sensitive to spatial fluctuations. The space here had clearly just recovered from a battle. If it were an ordinary battle, the space would recover quickly, leaving little trace. But here, the space recovered slowly and left many cracks. These cracks could only be sensed by those who mastered spatial laws. Lin Moyu tried to sense the space and felt a powerful force from the remaining cracks. The level of power surpassed that of a Saint Venerable and had a distinct Golden Eagle clan aura. Lin Moyu's heart moved. He knew who had been here. The Eagle Emperor was here not long ago. What was he here for? Could he also be looking for Tianlong? Little Bull asked, "Who is the Eagle Emperor?" Lin Moyu replied, "The foundation of the Golden Eagle clan, a half-step supreme." Little Bull was shocked. To it, a Saint Venerable was already an unattainable existence, let alone a half-step supreme. It said, "Lord Tianlong is only at the Saint Venerable realm. The Eagle Emperor is a half-step supreme. Will Lord Tianlong be alright?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "No, it should be the Eagle Emperor's avatar, at most with Saint Venerable combat power." Upon reaching the half-step supreme realm, they all had avatars. Unlike the demon race's avatars, their avatars were fragments of their souls, refined into physical bodies using special materials, forming puppets. Star Elder also had an avatar, existing in the form of a law ball, which would transform into Star Elder's appearance when needed. When Star Elder gave him the law ball, it later played a significant role. Little Bull continued forward. The closer they got to Tianlong's area, the more intense the battle aura became. Lin Moyu also sensed the lingering smell of blood, indicating that some starry sky beasts had been injured or even killed. Finally, a continent appeared in their sight. The continent was about 1,000 kilometers in diameter, relatively small. In the center of the continent stood a towering tree, 10,000 meters tall. The tree was lush and emitted an ancient aura. It was an ancient tree, very old. Lin Moyu took one look and felt that this ancient tree must have existed since ancient times. On the ancient tree coiled a giant dragon. The dragon's body emitted starlight, its scales dazzling and beautiful like mirrors. It also had a pair of wings on its back, which looked delicate compared to its massive body. "This is a holy dragon," Lin Moyu murmured to himself. The dragon before him had distinct features of a holy dragon. But it was also different from a holy dragon, more akin to a divine dragon. At this moment, two immense auras awakened on either side of the continent, pressing towards Lin Moyu and Little Bull. Simultaneously, two starry sky beasts appeared. Lin Moyu sensed that these two starry sky beasts also had Saint Venerable level strength. More than one Saint Venerable level beast. And this Tianlong seems to be stronger than a Saint Venerable. As Lin Moyu pondered, a huge voice rang out, "Who are you?" Unbeknownst to him, Tianlong had opened his eyes, looking coldly at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu found his gaze somewhat familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere before. Suddenly, Lin Moyu thought of Antares. Tianlong's gaze was somewhat similar to Antares's. Lin Moyu said, "Lin Moyu of the human race, greets Lord Tianlong." Tianlong's voice was cold, "Human child, what brings you here?" As he spoke, his nose twitched, "You have the aura of the dragon race on you." Lin Moyu replied, "Lord Tianlong, you are correct. I do have a few dragon friends." "Dragon friends," Tianlong muttered, then suddenly roared in anger. "Get lost." His voice was like thunder, transforming into lightning that struck towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was momentarily stunned. The bone hell instinctively appeared but was scattered by the lightning. However, after scattering the bone hell, the lightning's power greatly diminished. Lin Moyu waved his golden sword, forming a shield that blocked the lightning. Chapter 2153, 2153. Chapter 2153, Antares' friend. The Tianlong before him was clearly of the dragon race, yet seemed to have a grudge against dragons. No wonder his eyes resembled Antares somewhat. The two likely had similar stories or experiences. Dragons are not good at hiding their emotions. Whatever they're thinking tends to show in their eyes. Antares was the same back then. Lin Moyu wasn't angered by Tianlong's behavior. Instead, he calmly said, "You're very similar to a dragon friend of mine. Like you, he's a dragon himself but hates dragons." Mentioning dragons again made the anger in Tianlong's eyes intensify. But after hearing Lin Moyu's words, he seemed stunned. Mainly because Lin Moyu said, "He's a dragon himself but hates dragons." Tianlong couldn't help asking, "What's the name of this dragon friend of yours?" Lin Moyu said, "His name is strange, 4 characters, Antares." Roar! Tianlong suddenly let out a violent roar. Dragon cries echoed through space, and the continent he was on shook violently, breaking apart. Terrifying energy swept out. Behind Tianlong appeared an illusory world with white clouds and what seemed to be dragons flying about. Lin Moyu was sent flying back by the intense energy. Little Bull cried out as it was blasted away, looking quite miserable. This wasn't an attack, but rather Tianlong losing control of his emotions, too agitated. This was also similar to Antares, prone to big emotional outbursts at any time. Lin Moyu flew back and looked at the heavily breathing Tianlong. "Are you missing your dragon pearl?" Antares had once explained that his emotional instability was due to missing his dragon pearl. Lin Moyu later confirmed this. The holy dragon Saint Light's emotions were very stable, as were those of other elemental dragons. The reason was the dragon pearl. Missing the dragon pearl not only greatly weakened a dragon's power, but also affected their emotions and soul. Tianlong struggled to control his emotions. His huge dragon eyes stared at Lin Moyu. "You said your friend is called Antares?" Lin Moyu nodded, "That's right. How did you know I'm missing my dragon pearl?" Tianlong asked. Lin Moyu said, "Antares told me. The dragon pearl affects your dragon race's emotions. At the time, Antares was also missing his dragon pearl. I helped him find a few." Hearing this, Tianlong nearly lost control again. But this time he managed to hold back. The breath he exhaled was even thicker, not dissipating for tens of thousands of miles. "To tell you such a secret, I believe you are indeed good friends with him. But why do I smell the scent of holy dragons and elemental dragons on you?" Lin Moyu said, "I've met a holy dragon named Saint Light, as well as several elemental dragons." Tianlong seemed to still have doubts. Dragons usually stay in seclusion. How did you meet them? His curiosity was strong, also similar to Antares in this regard. It seems he and Antares are friends too, and had similar experiences. But Antares went to the small world, while he came to the boundary area, Lin Moyu thought. While thinking this, he answered Tianlong's question. "At the time, I happened to encounter dragons in the outer realm. They were fighting the insect race, so I watched for a while." Tianlong believed Lin Moyu's words. "Come closer." Lin Moyu flew in front of Tianlong, only 100 meters apart, practically face to face. A gentle light emerged from Tianlong's nose, enveloping Lin Moyu. He seemed to be sniffing Lin Moyu's aura intently. Soon, shock appeared in his eyes. "Why do you also have the dragon god scent on you?" Lin Moyu said, "I once had the honor of meeting the dragon god briefly." Suddenly, he let out another strange cry. "How can you have his scent? Why?" Tianlong's emotions were on the verge of losing control again. Lin Moyu felt somewhat helpless, his condition seemed even worse than Antares'. Was it because he was missing too many dragon pearls? But it was clear Tianlong was trying hard to control his emotions. Lin Moyu didn't react, but wondered in his mind who Tianlong referred to was. When mentioning him, there was clearly a hint of fear in Tianlong's voice. Lin Moyu's first thought was of the old man he had seen in the Origin Secret Realm. But it was hard to say. Lin Moyu also thought of that mysterious master. And the two heavenly venerables weren't impossible either. Things seemed rather confusing. Lin Moyu couldn't be certain for the moment. Tianlong finally managed to stabilize his emotions. What business do you have with me? His tone had changed, becoming milder. He seemed to have accepted Lin Moyu's identity. Lin Moyu naturally understood. Though dragons held a grudge against him, Antares was his friend, and not just an ordinary friend. So Lin Moyu, also being Antares' friend, was naturally accepted by Tianlong. Dragons think very directly. A friend's friend is basically a friend. Lin Moyu said, I'd like to ask for your help. You probably know the situation between us humans and the alien races. Tianlong nodded, I know. The Eagle Emperor came to see me a few days ago, but I drove him away. The Eagle Emperor came to ask you why you launched a beast tide, right? Tianlong grunted in affirmation, that's right. That fool. Not only did this dragon not launch a beast tide, even if I wanted to, is it any of his business? He's just a neither human nor ghost half-step supreme. Let alone sending an avatar, even if he came in person, so what? This dragon could kill him with one breath. Lin Moyu immediately took the opportunity to flatter him. Indeed, with your strength, you have no need to fear him. Tianlong's strength should be very great. Though he appeared to be at the Saint Venerable realm, his true combat powers should exceed that. Moreover, he was missing dragon pearls. If his dragon pearls were complete, he likely wouldn't be limited to Saint Venerable. At the very least, the rules world he had just displayed didn't seem inferior to a Supreme's rules world in Lin Moyu's perception. Tianlong glanced at Lin Moyu. You launched the beast tide, didn't you? Lin Moyu admitted frankly, yes, I launched the beast tide. With Little Bull right beside him, there was no way to hide it. Lin Moyu hadn't intended to conceal it anyway. Lin Moyu said, our human race is at war with them. Over a dozen races have already been wiped out. If we keep fighting, the various races will eventually collapse. Large numbers of them will flee to the outer realm, and the boundary area is on the necessary route. Tianlong chuckled, you want this dragon to intercept them, right? Lin Moyu immediately followed up with more flattery. Your wisdom is unmatched. It's truly a pleasure to converse with you. Tianlong said, I can agree to this. I can have those little ones seal off the boundary area and ensure that anyone who comes dies. But I have a condition. Lin Moyu said, I understand. Dragons believe in fair trades. Just name your condition. Tianlong said, help me find my dragon pearls. How many? 5. 3 are in the inner realm, 2 in the outer realm. Lin Moyu fell into thought. I can only say I'll do my best, but I can't guarantee anything. The inner realm was already vast, with a diameter of 2 million light-years. Trying to find a dragon pearl would be even harder than finding a needle in a haystack. Tianlong also hesitated, knowing the difficulty. I naturally have a way. Chapter 2154, 2154. Chapter 2154, The Boundary Land is a Net. Dragon clans always have a sense of their dragon pearls, as Antares did back then. It's unknown what method this dragon lord before us will use to search for his dragon pearl. At this moment, the dragon lord raised his head and spewed out a breath of dragon fire towards the starry sky. The dragon breath did not dissipate, but gathered and took shape in the sky, eventually transforming into a spherical object resembling a dragon pearl. The sphere was about the size of Lin Moyu's head and came to rest in Lin Moyu's hand. Looking at the sphere, Lin Moyu found it covered in lines similar to, but not quite the same as, runes. While others might not recognize these lines, Lin Moyu knew exactly what they were. This was the dragon language, the specialized language of the dragon clan. The dragon clan's language is peculiar. Although called a language, it has effects similar to runes. Antares once said that the dragon clan's language is actually a form of magic. When mastered to its deepest level, it can achieve the effect of words becoming reality. The dragon lord said, this is a dragon-seeking orb I've crafted. You can use it to find the dragon pearl. Lin Moyu tried activating the orb with his soul power, and it immediately projected a star map. The star map showed countless starry points of light, with various star regions clearly visible. This was a map of the inner space, quite complete, only slightly inferior to the human race's star maps. A tiny but distinct red dot appeared on the star map, located within the demon clan's star region, close to the core area. The Dragon Lord said, "This star map was given to me by that old fellow from your human race. As long as you're within 1,000 light years of the Dragon Pearl, the dragon-seeking orb will react and indicate the direction. Now I know the location of one Dragon Pearl, but you'll have to find the others yourself. Because you're Antares' friend, I can agree to your request first. I hope you won't disappoint me." Due to his relationship with Antares, the Dragon Lord once again did Lin Moyu a favor by choosing to trust him. Lin Moyu said, "Don't worry, I'll definitely do what I promised. I can't guarantee those in outer space, but I'm certain I can find the 3 Dragon Pearls in inner space for you." The outer space was too vast. Even with a sensing range of 1,000 light years, it was still a drop in the ocean for outer space. So Lin Moyu wasn't confident about the Dragon Pearls that had drifted into outer space. The Dragon Lord understood this point. "Just do your best." On the way back, Lin Moyu hadn't expected things to go so smoothly. He had been thinking about how to persuade the other party, but unexpectedly, the other party turned out to be from the Dragon Clan, and even a friend of Antares. With just a few words, the boundary land was sealed off, resolving his worries. The previous gradual approach could now be accelerated. In the distance, the sound of a dragon's roar arose, traveling faster than light speed, resonating within souls. The intense, continuous dragon roar quickly spread to the far reaches. In the starry sky, countless space beasts awakened, their eyes lighting up in the cosmos. Some space beasts were incredibly huge, with eyes as large as stars, emitting strong light. The previously quiet and dark boundary land suddenly became lively. The little ox, flying and leaping through space, shuddered. "The Dragon Lord has issued an order." The Dragon Lord had used his method to issue commands to the space beasts, which would spread throughout the entire boundary land in an extremely short time. Lin Moyu asked, "What exactly is the order?" The little ox replied, "The gist is to guard the boundary land. Anyone coming through who isn't a space beast is to be killed on sight." The number of space beasts in the boundary land was beyond count. A large portion of them were at the god Venerable realm, with formidable battle power. Apart from lacking intelligence, they had no other flaws. These space beasts, lacking their own will, would faithfully execute orders. Under the Dragon Lord's command, the boundary land was changing, becoming impenetrable. In a few days, all the space beasts in the entire boundary land would awaken. By then, the boundary land would be like a giant net, completely enveloping the inner space. Even God Venerables wouldn't be able to get out. It would probably give even those at the other shore realm a headache, as there were quite a few other shore realm space beasts in the boundary land too. Perhaps only those at the Saint Venerable realm could fight their way through. This way, if various races wanted to escape to outer space, they would find it was almost certainly a dead end. Lin Moyu, sitting on the little ox, quickly left the boundary land, heading towards the nearest race. The third direct confrontation between the human race and the 100 Race Alliance ended in a draw. For the 100 Race Alliance, this battle greatly boosted morale. The negative impact of the 2 previous defeats was finally swept away. However, the high-level members of the 100 Race Alliance still couldn't quite rejoice. The Abyss Demon Venerable had been severely injured and wouldn't recover anytime soon, affecting their top combat power. Requesting flowers. If war broke out again, it was uncertain who could deal with Lin Mohan. The War God Fortress had unleashed its full firepower this time, displaying combat power comparable to a Saint Venerable, which was truly unimaginable. The War God Fortress was a war weapon left behind by Xiaozontian. The entire human race only had this one, and it had only now truly demonstrated its terrifying power. Among the 100 Race Alliance, the Red Tiger Clan suffered the heaviest injuries. The Red Tiger Clan didn't know why the Beast Tide had targeted their race. At the time, they had agreed and prepared a backup plan, but it still didn't work. However, compared to the previous few races, it was slightly better. At least their race still existed, even though a large portion had died. They weren't completely wiped out. Afterwards, the Black Gold Saint Venerable had also visited the other shore of the Red Tiger Clan, promising compensation. Of course, this compensation would only come after the Great War with the human race ended. The ideal scenario was to eliminate the human race and then occupy the human race's star region. Although they were heartbroken, the two other Shore Realm members of the Red Tiger clan had no choice but to accept this reality. After all, what had happened couldn't be changed, and there was nothing they could do about it. News of the Red Tiger clan's situation quickly spread throughout the 100-race alliance, causing anxiety and unease among all races. The human race had allied with that entity from the Boundary Land and launched a sneak attack during the Great Battle. Such a thing couldn't be kept secret. Rather than letting various races constantly speculate, it was better to be open about it. During a high-level meeting, the Eagle Emperor made his first appearance. The Eagle Emperor stated that he had already been to the Boundary Land and given them a warning. Such incidents should not happen again in the future. At the same time, the Golden Eagle clan's Red Gold Saint Venerable had also arrived at the front lines, filling the position left by the Abyss Demon Venerable. Moreover, the Golden Eagle clan's 4th Saint Venerable was about to emerge from seclusion, which would add another Saint Venerable to their ranks. The Hell Demon Venerable also indicated that the Demon clan's 4th Saint Venerable was about to return. Even the Blood Ox Saint Venerable said that the Ape Ox Saint Venerable was on his way, and the Ox Demon clan would go all out. By then, their number of Saint Venerables would reach 9, more than enough to crush the human race. The human race only had 6 Saint Venerables. Even counting Lin Mohan and the War God Fortress, they only had 8 Saint Venerables in total. Having one more Saint Venerable would make a huge difference. If they waited for the Abyss Demon Venerable to recover, the 100-race alliance would have 10 Saint Venerables, more than enough to overwhelm the human race. This news spread from the high-level meeting, greatly boosting the confidence of the 100-race alliance. It seemed as if their destruction of the human race and occupation of the human race's star region was already a foregone conclusion. Chapter 2155, 2155. Chapter 2155, Eye of the Black Blood, it's about to begin. When the news spread, the human race learned everything through the Zimu ancestor tree. The Rune Saint Venerable conveyed this news to several other Saint Venerables. The Kill Saint Venerable sneered, wishful thinking, dreams will eventually end. The War Saint Venerable also laughed, of course, we must allow them to dream big, otherwise, there would be no need for this war. The Sword Saint Venerable said, but what they say is also true. In terms of top-tier combat power, we are indeed somewhat weaker. As a Saint Venerable, she was well aware that even one less Saint Venerable made a significant difference in strength. Moreover, it had to be admitted that the Saint Venerables in the 100-race alliance were all quite strong. The War Saint Venerable said, I have already notified the Heavenly Saint Venerable he should be coming. The Sword Saint Venerable frowned slightly, what about Old Hao? The War Saint Venerable said, Old Hao said he had some matters to attend to and would come after handling them. Matters? What matters could he have? The Saint Venerables all shook their heads slightly, indicating they didn't know. However, they all understood that the House Saint Venerable had his own ideas. Usually, matters of the human race were handled by the Heavenly Saint Venerable and the House Saint Venerable, and there had never been any mistakes. The Rune Saint Venerable said, no need to rush. The last battle just ended, and the next one is still far off. Such large-scale battles always had long intervals. It was impossible to fight one today and continue tomorrow. Moreover, the human race was fully aware of the 100-race alliance's every move, so there was no need to worry. Between the demon race and the Golden Eagle race, there was an area of empty void, devoid of stars and completely shrouded in darkness. If Lin Moyu were here, he would see that this place was filled with dark power from the Black Blood Great World. There was nothing here amidst the devouring dark power, there was a drop of black blood. The black blood had been here for countless years, always undiscovered. The Demon Lord appeared in the darkness, igniting demonic flames. At the same time, a black-purple light with a golden hue traversed space and arrived instantly. Eagle Emperor, you're here. The Demon Lord's voice was low, tinged with some irritation. The Eagle Emperor said softly, has the Abyssal Demon Venerable been sent in? The Demon Lord's eyes narrowed slightly, he has been sent in. I hope he recovers quickly this time, his injuries are severe. The Rules world was almost shattered. How could the injuries not be severe? For a Saint Venerable, the Rules world and the soul were their foundation. If either was damaged, it was a serious injury. The Eagle Emperor said, there should be no problem, they will have a way. The Demon Lord asked, Eagle Emperor, how did it go? What did Tianlong say? The Eagle Emperor said, he neither admitted nor denied it. We fought a battle, neither winning nor losing. The Demon Lord smiled, even if you could win, would you dare kill him? The Eagle Emperor shook his head, killing a dragon. Don't joke. The Demon Lord said, actually, you didn't need to go at all, you couldn't get any answers, it was meaningless. The Eagle Emperor still shook his head, no, it wasn't meaningless. Although he didn't admit it, I could tell from his eyes that he didn't do it. The Demon Lord muttered, if it wasn't him, who else could it be? The Eagle Emperor said, I think it might be some transcendent level starry sky beasts acting on their own. Maybe they were hungry and went to the Red Tiger clan for food. The Demon Lord did not refute the Eagle Emperor's reasoning. What he said was not impossible. Starry sky beasts indeed occasionally launched beast tides on their own. It wasn't entirely impossible. It was just too coincidental. The front lines had just opened, and the rear was already on fire. Dark power surged, and a black-robed figure flew out from the black blood. It was the half-step supreme who had been with the two earlier. The Eagle Emperor spoke directly, Moxu, how much longer until your people from the Black Blood Great World arrive? Moxu's voice was low and hoarse, I just sensed through the bloodline it will take about a dozen more years to return to the domain. The exact time depends on the situation at the boundary. The Eagle Emperor asked, let me ask one more question, have you really found the Eye of the Black Blood? Moxu nodded, of course, if we hadn't found it, they wouldn't be returning. The Eagle Emperor laughed, that's great. With the Eye of the Black Blood, we can kill that old guy from the human race. Without that old guy, who in the human race can stop us? The Demon Lord also said solemnly, we can wait another 140 years. Let those guys wait a bit longer. Occasionally Fane attacks, winning or losing doesn't matter, and there's no need to take it too seriously. When the Eye of the Black Blood arrives, it will be the end of the human race. Lin Moyu returned to the domain and immediately sent a flying sword rune to the rune Saint Venerable, informing him of his location and his next steps, while also inquiring about the current battle situation. After waiting quietly for 3 days, Lin Moyu received a reply from the rune Saint Venerable. The rune Saint Venerable detailed the current situation. After reading it, Lin Moyu quickly thought and deduced the next changes in the battle. He had a feeling that the human race was cooperating with his plan, stalling for time. The 100 Race Alliance also seemed to be stalling for time, otherwise, no matter how long the rest period, it wouldn't take this long. At least if it were him, he wouldn't wait this long. Restoring morale might just be an excuse, there were deeper reasons within. Lin Moyu muttered to himself, it should be related to the Black Blood Great World. The Demon Lord, the Eagle Emperor, and those from the Black Blood Great World must be plotting something or waiting for something. But I don't want to wait any longer. Lin Moyu didn't know what they were planning, but he knew exactly what he needed to do next. 2 flying sword runes flew out, one to the House Saint Venerable and one to the rune Saint Venerable. The 2 flying sword runes carried different messages. After waiting for another 3 days, he first received a reply from the rune Saint Venerable, who informed him that everything had been done according to his request and the time had been confirmed. On the 4th day, the House Saint Venerable's reply also arrived, indicating that he had followed Lin Moyu's plan. The 2 Saint Venerables had immense trust in Lin Moyu. They didn't underestimate him because of his realm and cultivation, instead, they greatly respected his ideas. For Lin Moyu's requests, they fulfilled them as much as possible. Under Lin Moyu's request, the human army moved silently. Originally 10 billion troops, now 2 billion had silently disappeared. Warships entered deep space, vanishing without a trace. The human race acted very discreetly, leaking no information. In the Divine City, a large number of cultivators also began to move, led by the House Saint Venerable, following Lin Moyu's plan. These cultivators were mostly from various families. Though not soldiers, their combat power was not weak. Moreover, their realms were not low, at least at the Divine Venerable level, numbering over 10 million. 10 million Divine Venerables, more than a dozen Transcendents, quietly left the Divine City under the House Saint Venerable's leadership. Lin Moyu calculated the time. After waiting for more than 10 days, he slowly stood up, his gaze growing colder. It's about to begin. Chapter 2156, 2156. Chapter 2156, All Sides at War, Multiple Fronts. The human race's 2 billion troops, among which there are over 1 million Divine Venerables and quite a few Transcendents, are led by the Kill Saint Venerable. Their target is several alien star regions near the White Tiger Star region. Lin Moyu's flying sword rune instructed them to attack the aliens, but did not specify which race. They were free to choose. They didn't need to actually conquer the regions, just cause significant damage to several races. Currently, the main forces of all races are concentrated on the front lines, leaving their homelands defenseless. Facing the Kill Saint Venerable's troops, they have no power to resist. The House Saint Venerable's troops are attacking aliens outside the Xuanwu Star region. Lin Moyu's requirements are the same. They don't need to annihilate the races, just inflict heavy damage. Lin Moyu believes that with the abilities of the two Saint Venerables, achieving this is no problem. His target is the various races near the Azure Dragon Star region. Little Bull's army of starry sky beasts is on the move again. The starry sky beasts still have several dozen days of life left, so they must be used well. This time, Lin Moyu did not use the concealment rune but directly had Little Bull break the barrier and lead the starry sky beast army inside. The alien race he attacked is called the Yellow Sparrow clan, which is weaker than the Red Tiger clan. The clan has two transcendents, both on the front lines. Now the clan is defenseless, giving Lin Moyu the perfect opportunity to strike. The timing of the three fronts was very precise, almost simultaneous, with only a short difference. As the barrier was broken, the Abyssal Demon Eyes immediately sensed it and transmitted the information back. On the Abyssal Demon Lord's throne, a divine venerable level avatar sat. Upon receiving the Abyssal Demon Eyes report, the flames roared and immediately sent the message to the front lines. Within half a day, the front lines had received the news. The Hell Demon Lord said in a low voice, the human race has suddenly attacked the Black Stone clan, the Spirit Turtle clan, the Flying Python clan, and the Ironwood clan. The Yellow Sparrow clan is simultaneously suffering a beast tide, initiated by the giant rhinoceros beast from before. The faces of several Saint Venerables changed. The Black Gold Saint Venerable said, is the human race crazy? What are they trying to do? The newly arrived Red Gold Saint Venerable muttered, another beast tide, and the timing is just too coincidental. He implied that he didn't believe the beast tide was a natural occurrence, someone must be manipulating it. If it wasn't the Tianlong from the boundary area, then the giant rhinoceros beast must have made a private agreement with the human race. Perhaps the human race offered many benefits, leading it to manipulate the starry sky beasts to attack the aliens. The Blood Bull Saint Venerable asked, should we go to support them? The Saint Venerables fell silent, debating whether to provide support. If they went, what would happen to the front lines? But if they didn't go, would the 100 Race Alliance collapse? The Hell Demon Lord slapped the table and made the first decision, we must support them, or the 100 Race Alliance will collapse. The human race likely intended to cause the collapse of the 100 Race Alliance. At this moment, alarms sounded in the military formation, and a brilliant firework bloomed. The Saint Venerables rushed out of the palace, looking into the distance. In the distance, dozens of human transcendents, led by several Saint Venerables, were charging towards them. Without the burden of an army, the human race moved quickly. By the time the alarms sounded, the human experts were already close. The dilemma was immediately in front of them. Should they focus on the front lines or go to support? The human experts charged aggressively, led by the Sword Saint Venerable, the War Saint Venerable, the Rune Saint Venerable, Lin Mohan, and the War God Fortress. At first glance, the human race seemed to have only 5 Saint Venerable level combatants. But the 100 Race Alliance had 6 Saint Venerables. They had more Saint Venerables than the human race, seemingly holding the advantage. But they had no confidence in quickly defeating the human race and killing their Saint Venerables. It might take 10 days to half a month with no clear result. But in those 10 days to half a month, several small clans might be wiped out. From the information obtained from the Abyssal Demon Eyes, the human race had deployed an astonishing amount of military force this time. Moreover, the various races were currently defenseless and couldn't stop the human race. They were already weaker than the human race, and now even more so. Even without the Kill Saint Venerable, we can send one person to support the various races. The Red Gold Saint Venerable said, Blood Bull Saint Venerable, the Bull Demon clan is close to the Xuanwu Star region. Have the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable attack the Xuanwu Star region, and I'll lead people to attack the White Tiger Star region. He knew very well that supporting the various races would be too late. The best solution was to directly attack the human star regions, forcing the human race to retreat. At this moment, a golden light rose from the starry sky, and a golden sun rose from the human army. The golden sun swept towards the 100 Race Alliance with overwhelming momentum. Be careful, it's the Heavenly Saint Venerable of the human race. Isn't the Heavenly Saint Venerable supposed to be in the Divine City? When did he get here? Be careful, the heavenly Saint Venerable is the strongest among the human Saint Venerables. Who will deal with him? There are differences in strength among Saint Venerables, and the gap between the weak and the strong is significant. The heavenly Saint Venerable is undoubtedly one of the top Saint Venerables. The present Saint Venerables all knew the power of the heavenly Saint Venerable and didn't think they could stop him. The red gold Saint Venerable, who had just said he would attack the White Tiger Star region, changed his mind. I'll handle the heavenly Saint Venerable. He flew out towards the golden sun. Before he could leave the military camp, a brilliant sword light cut through the starry sky, slashing towards him. One sword to annihilate the sky. Lin Mohan's sword strike was terrifying, causing fear. The red gold Saint Venerable's face changed drastically. He finally understood how the abyssal demon lord felt back then. He felt that if he wasn't careful, he might die under this sword. And the one who struck was just a transcendent. What a monster! The red gold Saint Venerable screamed and took out a long spear. The spear was pure white, contrasting sharply with his red gold body. The spear was covered in various skeletal patterns, looking extremely sinister. Almost all transcendents in the 100 Race Alliance had a powerful magical treasure, but no one knew where these treasures came from. The common feature was that these treasures were all covered in skeletal patterns. It was with these treasures that the transcendents of various races could match the human transcendents. The red gold Saint Venerable held the spear to meet Lin Mohan's sword light. But just as the spear was about to strike, it suddenly exploded. The terrifying power rebounded, blasting the red gold Saint Venerable. He screamed in pain as half of his feathers were blown off. The timing of the spear's explosion was perfect, and the sword light followed closely. The red gold Saint Venerable revealed a resolute expression and coldly shouted, summoning his rules world. In the rules world, countless red eagles flew out, crashing into the sword light without hesitation. Then the rules world transformed into a giant eagle, emitting red gold light, colliding with the sword light. Crack! Everyone heard the sound of breaking. A crack appeared in the red gold Saint Venerable's rules world. At the same time, the red gold Saint Venerable screamed again, being blasted back. Fortunately, his rules world blocked Lin Mohan's sword. The retreating red gold Saint Venerable was filled with fear and disbelief. Why did his magical treasure suddenly explode? The black gold Saint Venerable said, these treasures have problems. The abyssal demon lord's treasure also suddenly exploded before. Otherwise, he wouldn't have lost so quickly. Indeed, if the treasure hadn't exploded, the red gold Saint Venerable wouldn't have lost so quickly. But without the treasures, the transcendents of the 100 Race Alliance were no match for the human transcendents. The headache now fell on them. The heavenly Saint Venerable didn't give them time to think. The golden sun had already fallen like a meteor. Could it be that this Lord Tianlong has a grudge against the dragon race? Chapter 2157, 2157. Chapter 2157, Resources are actually fortune. The front lines officially erupted into battle, and the 100 Race Alliance's army retreated frantically. This was a battle that belonged only to Saint Venerables and those at the Transcendent Realm. Those below the Transcendent Realm had no qualifications to participate. It was like the reappearance of ancient wars when even those at the Divine Venerable Realm didn't qualify as cannon fodder. 2 million years have passed, and now, the scale of battles is far less than before. But ordinary Divine Venerables still have no qualifications to participate. Only high-level Divine Venerables can take part to some extent. Whether one possesses the power of rules has become a clear dividing line. The front lines were incredibly intense. The battle between Saint Venerables and Transcendents was grand in momentum and vast in scope, incredibly astonishing. Everyone retreated billions of kilometers, barely avoiding the impact. The sudden attack by the human Saint Venerables left the Saint Venerables of the 100 Race Alliance unable to focus on anything else. They could only let the humans attack various races. Now, they could only rely on the Abyssal Demon Lord. His avatar would surely inform the Demon Lord. Perhaps the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor would have a solution. They were truly powerless. If the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor couldn't stop the humans, the 100 Race Alliance would inevitably collapse. Little Bull led the resurrected army, wantonly ravaging the Yellow Sparrow clan's star region. The Yellow Sparrow clan had no power to resist. Their strongest forces were at the front lines, leaving the clan defenseless. Lin Moyu only glanced a few times before losing interest. He instructed Little Bull to be cautious and then turned towards another battlefield. The warship entered deep space, advancing at maximum speed. According to the plan, the demon race and the golden eagle race shouldn't have many tricks left. They each have one Saint Venerable. The demon race's Saint Venerable hasn't appeared for a long time, and no one knows what he's doing. The golden eagle race's purple gold Saint Venerable is said to be about to emerge, but it's unclear when exactly. The bull demon clan has the scarlet bull Saint Venerable, who can act. But he probably won't stop the humans. Instead, he'll attack the Xuanwu star region, forcing the humans to return. Unfortunately, the human star regions aren't so easily attacked. In Lin Moyu's calculations, the 100 Race Alliance had no Saint Venerables left to send. If they truly wanted to stop this disaster, only the Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord could act. But their true bodies couldn't leave, and their avatars were only peak Saint Venerables. And within the human race, there were Star Elder and the Human Emperor network. They wouldn't foolishly send their avatars to be killed. There's also the power of the Black Blood Great World. With no other options, Lin Moyu believed the 100 Race Alliance could only use the power of the Black Blood Great World. This force, which once invaded the Great World and then hid, should now reveal itself. Enemies hidden in the dark are the most terrifying. Once exposed to the light, they are nothing. Lin Moyu smiled. His arrangements served multiple purposes. He aimed to collapse the 100 Race Alliance and force out the Black Blood Great World to see how strong its remnants were. Lin Moyu believed they couldn't be too strong otherwise. The Black Blood Great World would have destroyed the human race long ago and wouldn't have hidden until now. Based on this reasoning, the ultimate victor of the ancient war was still the Great World. At least the Heavenly Venerables mostly survived. Lin Moyu left the Yellow Sparrow clan and entered the Wind Serpent clan's star region. This time, he used the concealment rune again, transforming into a member of the ghost race. Here, he didn't sense the power of the Black Blood Great World. He approached the abyssal demon eye and lightly pointed at it. A piece of flesh belonging to a peak divine venerable exploded, causing a loud boom. In the explosion, the abyssal demon eye shattered on the spot, and the abyssal eye demon controlling it also died instantly. The death of the abyssal eye demon shocked the abyssal demon lord. Usually, when the abyssal demon eye was destroyed, the abyssal eye demon would only be injured. Unexpectedly, this time it died directly. The abyssal demon lord murmured. This abyssal eye demon was in charge of the Wind Serpent clan's star region. The Wind Serpent clan is also under attack, and to destroy the abyssal demon eye so cleanly without damaging the barrier. It must be the ghost race. The abyssal demon lord analyzed continuously, his voice growing colder. It might not be the ghost race, it could be someone pretending to be the ghost race. The humans are very cunning. It could also be a starry sky beast with special talents. He quickly conveyed his analysis to the demon lord. Currently, his true body was injured and recuperating, so his avatar served as the intelligence relay. What the demon lord would do specifically, he didn't know and didn't care. The bone hell flashed in the starry sky. Each appearance meant the disappearance of a star system. The bone hell, now at divine venerable rank 9, had a diameter of 100 billion kilometers, far more terrifying than before. Even a transcendent would struggle to escape from it. For ordinary divine venerables, even high-level ones, they would be killed in a short time, becoming nourishment for the bone hell. Lin Moyu used the containment formation in conjunction with the bone hell, killing and collecting star systems. These star systems would become resources for the human race. Over the years, as his realm improved, Lin Moyu had come to understand something. The amount of resources, in a certain sense, represents fortune. In ancient times, the great world was incredibly prosperous, with immense fortune, constantly evolving and producing abundant resources. This was a manifestation of fortune. Now, the great world's runes are damaged, and its fortune has declined. Resources have become non-renewable, scarce, and the world is gradually declining. This further weakens the great world, creating a vicious cycle. The most troublesome issue seems to follow a certain pattern. The great world continues to expand. The outer space is growing larger, further consuming the great world's origin. These are all headaches, difficult to solve. Lin Moyu is now collecting large amounts of resources to enhance the human race's fortune, which in turn will boost his own luck. When the time comes, his next plans can proceed smoothly. Only by gathering the great world's fortune and severing all its karma can he face the impending battle world. Only by defeating the battle world and plundering its origin can he hope to build a new divine path and truly repair the great world's runes. Lin Moyu's will was incredibly firm, and his actions became ruthless. He had no sympathy, nor would he show mercy. A moment of mercy now could lead to the destruction of the entire great world. In his view, these alien races should have perished in ancient times. Their existence is unreasonable. At least, for the Great World, it's unreasonable. In just a few days, Lin Moyu exterminated the Wind Serpent clan. The Great World's reward did not arrive, which was expected. Many Wind Serpent clan members were still in the frontline army. As long as they lived, the Wind Serpent clan wasn't truly exterminated, and the karma wasn't severed. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. Things must be done one step at a time. He turned and flew towards another race, beginning a new slaughter. In the starry sky, a gigantic iron bull appeared, larger than a star, swiftly traversing space. The iron bull wasn't a physical entity but composed of an army. The Bull Demon clan's army formed a battle formation, charging towards the human Xuanwu star region. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable led the charge, filled with killing intent. Soon, the Xuanwu star region appeared in sight. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable raised his battle blade, kill. The Iron Bull roared, its horns glowing, and a sea of blood appeared in the starry sky. Chapter 2158, 2158. Chapter 2158, suffered a double loss. The Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation is the name of the Bull Demon clan's battle formation. According to human records, the power of the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation is not weak, comparable to the demon race's battle formations. Moreover, the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation has an advantage that the demon race's formations cannot match. It does not need to consider cultivation levels. The more people in the formation, the greater its power. It is said that if 1,000 peak god kings form the formation, they can rival a god venerable. If 1,000 peak god venerables form the formation, they can contend with a transcendent. Even without peak god venerables, as long as there are 10,000 high-level god venerables, they can still fight a transcendent. Although they would certainly lose, they could at least hold out for a while and not be utterly defeated. Now, at least several 100,000 members of the Bull Demon clan have formed the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation, heading towards the human Xuanwu star region. Led by the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable, the formation's power is terrifying. Even a Saint Venerable would have to retreat. The human race had long discovered the Bull Demon clan's approach, and the formations in the Xuanwu star region were fully activated. The power of the human emperor network surged like a waterfall, causing the formations to glow intensely. A phantom Xuanwu black tortoise appeared in the starry sky. The Xuanwu star region, using the mythical beast Xuanwu from the Xuanwu battlefield as a totem, created the Xuanwu formation. Once activated, it can manifest the image of Xuanwu. Since its creation, this formation had never been used in actual combat. Now, with the Bull Demon clan attacking, the formation was deployed for the first time. Xuanwu let out a roar, and boundless water appeared in the starry sky, transforming into a vast ocean that surged towards the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation. Xuanwu belongs to the water element, and the water laws were greatly enhanced by the formation. The ocean grew stronger, and the laws sublimated into the power of rules. Faintly, a world rose within the power of rules, with the formation even evolving into a rules world. Within the formation, belief plaques spontaneously burned, and the power of belief was added to the formation. At the same time, 100 drops of myriad-colored water flew out, merging into the formation. The human race's original power of belief and the myriad-colored water jointly empowered the formation, pushing it to its limit. Xuanwu seemed to don a layer of armor, becoming radiant and colorful. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable's expression grew more serious as he felt the power of the Xuanwu formation, which was no less than the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation. The human race's foundation is indeed terrifying. If it weren't for attacking while the human race was weak, with the secret help of the Black Blood Great World, the various races would never have had a chance to invade. In truth, he didn't want to face the human race head-on, but now he had no choice. Roar! Xuanwu roared a second time, leaping into the ocean, and a full moon rose from the ocean. The formation evolved Xuanwu and simultaneously evolved a rules world, turning decay into magic. The ocean waves surged forward, colliding head-on with the Blood Sea Demon Bull Formation. Kill! The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable roared, summoning his own rules world. It was a blood-colored land where countless black bulls in blood armor ran wildly. The power of the rules world merged into the formation, further amplifying its power. With a thunderous boom, terrifying energy swept through the starry sky. The starry sky shattered like tofu, and the massive shockwave surged. The formations of the Xuanwu star region glowed brightly, blocking all the impact. The formations twisted but did not break. The human race's formations were far stronger than the demon race's barriers. Moreover, with the continuous supply of power from the human emperor network, even a Saint Venerable couldn't break through easily. The ocean waves surged like a volcanic eruption, scattering in all directions and then falling like arrows. The Blood Sea Demon Bull formation evolved demon bulls that collided with Xuanwu. Xuanwu was knocked over, but its tail swept into the Blood Sea as it flipped. Countless bull demon clan members were swept away with screams, their bodies shattered in midair, dying on the spot. This sweep was incredibly powerful, causing even high-level god venerables to vomit blood and be seriously injured. Those below high-level god venerables died instantly upon contact. With just this sweep, 1/3 of the hundreds of thousands of bull demon clan members in the Blood Sea Demon Bull formation died instantly. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable's eyes were bloodshot, and he roared in anger. Countless blood-armored mad bulls charged out from his rule's world, attacking Xuanwu. Xuanwu's scales flashed, shooting countless ice arrows like a dense storm, directly extinguishing the blood-armored mad bulls. At the same time, Xuanwu stomped, causing the starry sky to tremble, enough to shatter a star system. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable swung his battle blade, cutting off Xuanwu's leg. With a loud crack, Xuanwu's leg was severed, but the energy shockwave killed another batch of Bull Demon clan members. More than half of the people he brought were dead or injured, yet they hadn't even touched the edge of the Xuanwu star region. The formation flickered, and Xuanwu's leg instantly regenerated. The turtle shell on Xuanwu's back suddenly flew out, smashing into the Blood Sea Demon Bull formation. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable felt a pang of fear. "Retreat quickly," he roared, ordering his people to flee. But it was too late. The turtle shell exploded. The Blood Sea Demon Bull formation collapsed instantly. Except for the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable, all the Bull Demon clan members were killed. After this strike, Xuanwu's aura rapidly declined, turning into starlight and dissipating. The Xuanwu formation also had its limits, which had now been reached, requiring time to recover. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable watched as the tens of thousands of his people died before his eyes. His eyes were bloodshot, and he charged towards the Xuanwu formation with his battle blade. At this moment, a figure appeared in the starry sky, clad in golden armor and radiating dazzling light. The human emperor descended. Although it was just a projection, its power was no less than that of the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable. The human emperor pressed his palm down, and countless runes gathered into an ancient symbol. The ancient symbol transformed into a pagoda, pressing down. "Get lost!" the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable roared, slashing with his blade. The starry sky was torn apart, and the blade light struck the pagoda, sending it flying. But the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable was also sent flying uncontrollably. The human emperor moved both hands, evolving countless runes. Runes flew out from within the Xuanwu star region, intertwining to form ancient symbols. The ancient symbols evolved into weapons of all kinds, thousands of them, attacking the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable roared, swinging his battle blade continuously, destroying weapon after weapon. Although the evolved symbols were powerful, they couldn't stop a true Saint Venerable. The human emperor didn't intend to stop him, just to buy some time. The Xuanwu formation quickly recovered. Within minutes, the formation was operational again, and Xuanwu reappeared in the starry sky. The human emperor leapt onto Xuanwu's head, looking coldly at the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable was on the verge of madness. Dealing with Xuanwu alone was difficult enough, and now with the human emperor's projection, he had no chance. If he insisted on fighting, he might die here. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable roared in anger, his energy and blood surging, and turned to leave. The human emperor didn't pursue, watching quietly as the Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable left, then dispersed the Xuanwu formation. The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable not only failed to break into the human territory but also lost tens of thousands of his people, suffering a heavy loss. A similar situation occurred in the White Tiger Star region. The Golden Eagle clan's Purple Gold Saint Venerable led his subordinates to attack the White Tiger Star region. But he encountered Star Elder's avatar and didn't dare to engage, fleeing in disgrace. The human emperor's greatest strength lies in control. To exert his full power, he needs to be near the Divine City, not in the 4-star regions. As long as Star Elder is in human territory, he can exert his power to the fullest. If the Purple Gold Saint Venerable dared to charge in, Star Elder would ensure he never left human territory. After a round of battles, 2 flying sword runes flew out, one to the rune Saint Venerable and the other to Lin Moyu. Chapter 2159, 2159. Chapter 2159, How about letting the various races move? A few days later, Lin Moyu received a flying sword rune and learned about the events in the human star region. As I expected, the only difference is that the purple gold Saint Venerable came out early. I don't know if he really finished his cultivation or if he came out early because of this incident. But it doesn't matter. Next, the people from the Black Blood Great World should come looking for me. Lin Moyu smiled. I wonder if it will be a Transcendent or a Saint Venerable. It's most likely a Saint Venerable since a Transcendent has already died once. Lin Moyu was not very confident about killing a Saint Venerable for now. He believed that given the caution of the Black Blood Great World, after losing one Transcendent, they wouldn't send another to die. After all, Transcendents were not as common as cabbages, their numbers were limited. After severely crippling a race, Lin Moyu quickly withdrew and returned to the Yellow Sparrow Star region where Little Bull was. Upon his return, Lin Moyu used the containment formation to sweep away all the star systems in the Yellow Sparrow Star region. By this time, the battle in the Yellow Sparrow Star region was nearing its end, and the region had been thoroughly devastated. Lin Moyu's voice reached Little Bull's ears. Let's go. Little Bull, who was in the midst of battle, was puzzled. Master, we're almost done. Lin Moyu didn't explain and simply said, let's go. As soon as he spoke, all the resurrected beings disappeared simultaneously. Little Bull obediently stopped fighting and entered the containment formation. Lin Moyu took Little Bull and, with a few steps covering billions of kilometers, took out his warship and disappeared without a trace. Just a day after Lin Moyu left, two black-robed figures appeared in the starry sky. The black-robed figures were from the Black Blood Great World, exuding a bloody aura. Both were Saint Venerables, just as Lin Moyu had expected. After losing one Transcendent, the Black Blood Great World wouldn't send another to die. Unfortunately, they arrived too late. Lin Moyu was long gone. The Yellow Sparrow clan had been decimated, with less than 1/10 of their star region remaining and most of their people dead. Two other races fared even worse. Their people were completely wiped out, and their star regions were gone. The Saint Venerables from the Black Blood Great World were bewildered. It felt as if the ghost race had joined forces with the starry sky beasts. They instinctively wondered, could it be that the human race has not only bought off the starry sky beasts but also the ghost race? The two Saint Venerables from the Black Blood Great World were utterly confused. After searching for 2 days without finding any clues, they had no choice but to leave. They had no idea that Lin Moyu was hiding nearby, watching them from a great distance. Dozens of runes, merged with the starry sky, monitored their every move. The runes were so well hidden that even Saint Venerables couldn't detect them. Even after they left, Lin Moyu didn't show himself, waiting quietly. Sure enough, half a day later, the two Saint Venerables returned. They had pretended to leave, only to circle back after half a day. Unfortunately, they didn't realize that their every move was under Lin Moyu's surveillance. After returning and finding nothing, they finally left in disappointment. This time, their trip was in vain. After confirming that the two had truly left, Lin Moyu released Little Bull again. Continue as planned. After exterminating the Yellow Sparrow clan, the next target is the Short-Legged clan. Little Bull patted its chest and assured, don't worry, Master, I will complete the task. Lin Moyu smiled and boarded his warship, heading towards another target. Another bloody massacre began. Lin Moyu was reclaiming the blood once shed by the human race. On the front lines, the battle between the Saint Venerables and Transcendents lasted 20 days before finally ending. Both sides suffered casualties. The human race lost 3 Transcendents, while the 100 Race Alliance lost 7. The human race emerged victorious once again. War is cruel, and it's almost impossible to avoid casualties entirely. Unless the human race could produce a true supreme, capable of sweeping through the 100 Race Alliance. Unfortunately, the human race has no supreme, so some plans must be executed at the cost of blood. As the great battle concluded, the human armies attacking the various races also withdrew. Lin Moyu also ceased his actions. When the 100 Race Alliance received the news, the entire alliance was in an uproar. They couldn't believe what had happened. Countless people felt as if the sky had fallen. After watching an exciting battle between Transcendents, they found their own race had been annihilated. According to reports from various sources, the human race's thunderous attack wiped out 12 races. Meanwhile, the giant rhinoceros beast, leading the starry sky beast army, exterminated 3 races. The ghost race reappeared and flattened 7 races. After this battle, the ancestral lands of the 100 Race Alliance were devastated, with 22 races either annihilated or crippled. Including the previous dozen or so, the 100 Race Alliance had lost over a third of its members. The alliance could no longer be called the 100 Race Alliance, as it now had fewer than 70 races. The human race's strike had left them utterly stunned. Countless people called for the extermination of the human race, but it was just empty talk. Could they really annihilate the human race? Almost impossible. The atmosphere in the 100 Race Alliance's palace was incredibly heavy. Everyone, whether Saint Venerables or Transcendents, looked grim. Only a few races, like the Black Stone clan, showed no expression. They were originally just stones. But their eyes were filled with anger. The Black Gold Saint Venerable said, "This can't go on. I've reviewed our situation, and since the war began, we've been led by the nose by the human race." The Blood Bull Saint Venerable agreed, "I feel the same. We've never gained any advantage. Small victories mean nothing, and in major battles, we've always been the losing side." The Scarlet Bull Saint Venerable, who had just arrived at the front lines, said, "I brought 300,000 Bull Demon Clan warriors, but we couldn't even breach the Xuanwu Star region's gate. All our warriors died. If I hadn't reacted quickly, I might not have made it back." He exaggerated a bit, but most of it was true. The Bull Demon Clan suffered significant losses this time. The Purple Gold Saint Venerable also arrived. "I encountered Star Elder outside the White Tiger Star region and had to retreat." Both were helpless. They had intended to attack the human star regions, forcing them to retreat for self-preservation, hoping for mutual destruction at best. But they couldn't even breach the gates. The Hell Demon Lord said, "It seems the human race has been hiding its strength for thousands of years. We've all been deceived by them." The demon race had long fought the human race, thinking they knew their strength well. But when the real fight began, it was completely unexpected. The human race's true strength was far beyond what they usually showed. After years of great battles, they finally realized they had been deceived. The human race had hidden its true strength. Now, the problem was right in front of them. Although they had more Saint Venerables than the human race, the cost of victory was unimaginable. The Magma Demon Lord said, "Let's not talk about the human race for now. We need to solve our current problem. The 100 Race Alliance is already in name only. What should we do next?" The newly arrived Purple Gold Saint Venerable's eyes lit up. "I have an idea, but I don't know if it will work. Let's discuss it together." The other Saint Venerables immediately perked up their ears. With the Abyssal Demon Lord absent, the Golden Eagle Clan's Saint Venerables were the ones with the most ideas. The Purple Gold Saint Venerable said, "How about letting the various races move?" Chapter 2160, 2160. Chapter 2160, The gates of the inner realm space have already closed. Purple Gold Saint Venerable put forward his suggestion. Although it was a clumsy solution, there didn't seem to be any better options at the moment. However, relocating the various races was a major undertaking, not something that could be easily accomplished. How to move, where to move to, whether to only move living beings or entire star systems, these were all issues to consider. Moreover, once the relocation actually began, it would require a significant amount of time. Would the human race give them that time? This kind of decision couldn't be made by the Saint Venerables alone. The transcendence of the various races would need to be involved in the discussions as well. But the more people involved, the harder it would be to reach a unified decision. Moving would be time-consuming and laborious. Not moving could mean being the next target for extermination by the human race. The 100 Race Alliance, which hadn't yet completely collapsed, was unable to reach a consensus. Purple Gold Saint Venerable's single suggestion nearly caused an uproar. The news eventually reached the ears of the Abyssal Demon Lord, and was finally passed on to the Demon Lord and Eagle Emperor. After some discussion, the Demon Lord and Eagle Emperor felt that although the idea wasn't great, it was feasible. The most critical issue now was still dealing with the human race. To deal with the human race, the 100 Race Alliance couldn't fall apart. After all, they still had over 100 transcendents. These transcendents were a significant force that couldn't be abandoned. Moreover, relocation wasn't without benefits. At the very least, it would concentrate their forces and allow them to mobilize more troops. At worst, if they defeated the human race, they could always search for and reclaim the lost star regions later. Those races that had already been nearly wiped out would also have a place to repopulate and survive. After several days of discussion, a decision was finally reached: they would relocate, taking their star systems with them. The 100-race alliance had many divine venerables. The demon race and golden eagle race provided numerous magical treasures to facilitate the relocation of the various races. The saint venerables and transcendents kept a close watch on the human race, providing escort. The entire relocation process was estimated to take over 10 years. In the human camp, Rune Saint Venerable had just received the latest news. A hint of a smile appeared in his eyes. They've chosen to relocate. War Saint Venerable took a light breath. Young friend Lin really predicted it. Rune Saint Venerable nodded. At the time, young friend Lin said the 100-race alliance would have two possibilities. The first was that they would collapse and completely disband, each race fending for itself. The second was that they would relocate, moving their star systems together for consolidation. Young friend Lin analyzed that the second possibility was more likely. Now it seems he was right. War Saint Venerable asked, did young friend Lin say how to proceed next? Rune Saint Venerable chuckled. Young friend Lin formulated plans for both possible reactions from the 100-race alliance. Rune Saint Venerable briefly explained Lin Moyu's plans. At this point, only the Saint Venerables were present in the meeting hall, so there was no fear of information leaking. According to Lin Moyu's plan, they could relocate, but not too many star systems should be moved away. Those were resources, and at the same time, fortune. Losing resources and star systems would also damage their fortune. So resources should be kept as much as possible. The role of the Saint Venerables on the front lines was to keep the Saint Venerables and Transcendents of the 100-race alliance occupied. As for other matters, they would be handled by him and Heavenly Saint Venerable. Kill Saint Venerable had also returned to the front lines. The human race now had 7 Saint Venerable level combat powers on the front lines. The 100-race alliance currently had 8 Saint Venerable level combat powers. Although they outnumbered the human race by 1, the outcome of an actual battle was hard to predict. Among the human race, Heavenly Saint Venerable was worth 2 opponents, capable of tying down 2 Saint Venerables. This also gave Heavenly Saint Venerable and Lin Moyu the possibility to act freely. Lin Moyu moved along the edge of the boundary area. He sensed the aura of the Black Blood Great World. Since he had tricked the 2 Saint Venerables from the Black Blood Great World last time, they seemed to be furious with embarrassment. That Saint Venerable had returned recently and began roaming this area of space. Lin Moyu didn't want to confront them head-on for now. He used concealment runes to avoid them, sticking close to the boundary area as he moved away. Space was vast. If Lin Moyu intentionally avoided them, finding him would be harder than achieving Heavenly Venerable status. Vaguely, Lin Moyu sensed an aura coming from the boundary area. It seemed a great battle had erupted inside. Energy fluctuations swept out, and faint roars of starry sky beasts could be heard. Lin Moyu entered the boundary area and sent out Little Bull to take a look. Soon, Little Bull sent back information. A small race's forces had entered the boundary area, seemingly intending to go to the outer realm. However, they were stopped by the starry sky beasts. After a great battle, that race's forces were permanently left in the boundary area. A smile appeared on Lin Moyu's lips. The net has been woven. It's too late to escape now. It seems the 100-race alliance must have made a decision. As he was pondering, a flying sword rune with a faint glow appeared before him. After reading the information in the flying sword rune, the smile in Lin Moyu's eyes grew stronger. Indeed, it's as I predicted. They chose to relocate. What happens next depends on me and Heavenly Saint Venerable. The people can leave, but the planets must be kept. Lin Moyu knew that the various races wouldn't put all their eggs in one basket. Reproduction and survival were always the most primitive and fundamental missions of a race, as well as the instinct of living beings. They would send large forces to the outer realm. That way, even if they were defeated in the inner realm, at least the seeds of their races would be preserved. But what they couldn't have imagined was that the boundary area had already become an impenetrable net. No one could get out. Now the gates of the inner realm space had closed. The human race was about to begin hunting down the trapped beasts. This was also something that had to be done to sever the karma of the Great World. Lin Moyu was getting further and further from the Azure Dragon Star region, gradually approaching the Black Tortoise Star region. On the warship, Lin Moyu pondered his next actions. Little Bull lay beside him, looking somewhat listless. It felt a bit bored without battles during this period. Master, why did you seal off the boundary area? Little Bull didn't quite understand. Lin Moyu sipped his tea and said slowly, "Were your ancestors native starry sky beasts of the Great World?" Little Bull nodded. Yes, it was very certain about this question. The memories of the Great World were engraved in its bloodline inheritance. There was no mistake about this. But it didn't understand why Lin Moyu was asking this. Lin Moyu continued asking, "Then can you distinguish which starry sky beast's ancestors don't belong to the Great World?" Little Bull mooed. "I can. It's very clear." Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. "Tell me about it." Little Bull said, "I didn't understand much before. I would just see some starry sky beasts and feel they were very annoying. I wanted to eat them. At that time, I hadn't awakened my intelligence yet, so I wasn't very clear. Later, when I awakened my bloodline and gained intelligence, I finally understood why. It's because those guys aren't starry sky beasts of the Great World, so I dislike them." Lin Moyu finally understood why Little Bull had no reservations about bringing over the Transcendent Realm's starry sky beasts back then. It turned out that the ones it brought were all those it disliked. Lin Moyu continued asking, "Besides distinguishing through bloodline, are there any other methods?" Little Bull raised a hoof and scratched itself. "There is. Any starry sky beast that has awakened its bloodline and possesses intelligence belongs to our Great World." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. Lord Tianlong said so. It can't be wrong." Tianlong came from the dragon race. Although he was missing dragon pearls and his strength had greatly decreased, his words were indeed worth listening to. Everything has its cause and effect. Lin Moyu's thoughts turned rapidly, quickly grasping the connection between having intelligence and being a native starry sky beast of the Great World. He felt that this issue might lie with the world's origin. Starry sky beasts could be said to be the first batch of living beings nurtured by various worlds. Their connection to the world's origin was extremely close. The origins of the worlds where the various alien races originally came from were gone. So the starry sky beasts from those worlds had no chance to awaken intelligence. Lin Moyu felt he had found the root cause and knew what to do next.